think it's gone. Oh wait, no one can hear you. Fuck, I fucked up. Okay, now people can hear you.
All right, everybody.
Hey!
New Journey into the Darklands. This week we're gonna have our recap be done by Johnny Bones. Go
Terrible
ahead, Johnny.
choice, really.
Well,
Alright, so, if I remember correctly, we started the last session with everyone arriving on the train. Everyone except for me, Johnny, and Aurelie over here, the bird person.
what?
We got here ahead of time.
I live here, motherfucker.
And I've been here for, well, a long, long time. But we have Simmerbark, bearer of the stump. Diosne? Is that how you pronounce that? I've never actually tried to pronounce it before.
Diosne.
Diosne, okay.
Diosne.
Nice. And, there she is, Rasha. There we go. They all arrived on the train.
Where the fuck did... Oh.
Yeah, I had a hard time finding
Already
it, too.
up and ready to go.
Yeah.
I want you to know,
Yeah.
Dylan, I did talk to Lexi. She was pre-gaming the attitude she needed to get today by playing Rust and League.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Oh,
all right.
Lexi. Oh,
Hello,
here's
sorry,
not
I'm
feel for
returning.
your sins.
Oh, I just
Hello.
realized something really
Hello.
funny. I accidentally made the totem pole on the left side the same size as the tokens on the screen, and now I can kind of overlap them because it lines up and it makes my brain funny.
Hell
Who's gonna
yeah.
tumble up your butt?
Autism moment.
You've tricked yourself with all this. Yeah.
That being said, all of you spent your downtime doing your respective things. Is there anybody I missed? I'm pretty sure I hit everybody during this past week in their downtime, in their actions.
You never answered my question about gloves.
No, I half
No, you
answered
didn't.
it. I half answered it.
You said
Um,
if when I look into it, I'll let you know if you could get the gloves. Then you never told me.
It's essentially regular gloves is what that would be. So, 4 silver if you've got it.
Yeah, I've got 4 silver.
Okay, there you go.
Omni says
That's
hello.
my
world, by the way.
bad. We literally did everything around it, though. I
Yeah.
love it. My bad. All right. Besides that, is there anything else I'm missing?
Do we need to do a check for earned income for people who did it?
I feel like I have to roll a medicine check.
You
I
would
mean,
have to
Dylan
roll a
just told
medicine
me to
check,
do it,
I'm
but
sure. Yes, Aurelie needs a medicine check. I need craft from Simmer and Bearer, and I think that's it.
This isn't
What, for
really
money?
important, so I'm not going.
Not for money, just for the check to see how well you did throughout the week.
oh, okay.
I don't remember how many days I did it.
You did it for 2, so you would only earn about 1 gold, Jacob.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to do it too.
Could I
have...
Oh,
Like nature survival for mine,
So
because
I
I was
can
doing in relation to like
narrate
my
mine
hunting
when
job.
you're ready.
Cooking is crafting, unfortunately.
I didn't do cooking.
Oh, wait, what did you do over the week? Wait.
Hunting.
I
Survival
did
then.
cooking.
Was it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you're the
Yeah,
craft-
my job is a hunter.
Okay. Whoopsies! Mixing up people's stuff. So I need a craft check from Bear. I need a survival from Simmer. E. You got some herbs.
Whoa.
Woo.
You messed up your squirrel snares.
Oh,
Man,
well.
everyone's rolling like crap today.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jade slept in.
Well, okay.
He didn't actually go to do the job.
Hibernation hit.
People don't trust your food as much, Bearer.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
might have gave a few people food poisoning over the week.
Well,
Turn
okay.
that 1 gold into 5 silver, please.
Okay.
Well,
Everything
I
was
spent...
a little burnt, but they're crispy.
Johnny, you did some amazing contortionist stuff with your bones and whatnot that everybody thought was amazing. They thought you were some kind of court jester. You ended up making.
Yeah.
You did this for the last 2 days because you rested the first 3, right?
Yes.
Last 2 days, you would earn 1 gold as well.
Nice.
Bones. It is now the 6th day. Yeah, it is now the 6th day. All of you are waking up fresh. Rasha, you're standing in the door, literally staring down Althea, Karavok, and Maxim, who are sitting at the head of the table.
Good morning.
Good morning, Head. I suppose, everybody ought to grab some breakfast and we'll get this thing started, huh?
What?
So I doubt anyone would be particularly surprised by this, but as everyone wakes up, Johnny's just sitting on the couch. He just nods to you all as you come out.
I'm glad that you specified that you would nod to everybody, or else Aurelie was going to poke him. Anyhow, it is time for all of the characters to make a food. What do we have available for a breakfast?
It seems to be
Eggs?
that
Eggs is good.
Karavok made everybody a seemingly banquet. There's eggs, there's ham, there's sausage. These fluffy little bread-like things in circular discs. Some of them even look like they have abs. Pancakes and
Waffles and
waffles.
pancakes.
Oh, alright, I got the pancakes bit, but the abs threw me.
Thank you.
Are these a
thank
new
you, Alan.
invention? Is this did pancakes get invented just now?
No, they've probably been around for a bit.
They're just a local delicacy, we'll call it.
Ah.
This is lore I didn't know that we were establishing today. So, do we get some freshly mined cinnamon with those pancakes?
Oh.
You can even have tree blood, otherwise known as syrup.
Free blood.
Cinnamon mines from the and then syrup from the syrup geysers.
No, we're not.
You can't do it twice. No, we're not doing the syrup geysers. Come on, guys.
So just
Canada isn't
mythical
real.
land.
Go
syrup.
away.
They never said it has to be real syrup. People just call it that.
But yeah, there's a lot of food out on the table that is able for everybody to be just grabbed.
Actually, I'm curious. Does Simmerbark, like ever look at Aurelie's notes ever? She doesn't really get like very cagey with them. She generally leaves them around when she gets up to go do something, comes back to them.
Why Simmerbark? Is there something I should be aware of?
Because one of her notes for Simmerbark is noting further experimentation on his blood type being fucking sap. She's thinking about making
Yeah.
him into syrup.
Yeah, when Aurelie will come back to like further look at the notes, it's just in the paper's slightly singed, and in bold it says "do not,"
Do not.
and it's like triple underlined.
Makes me want to do it more. This affirms her hypothesis that it's possible.
Purely off speculation, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We're not doing this. Go away.
Oh no, 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 no.
Age. No.
I hate it.
So bad.
I can't believe it's not syrup.
Is there coffee?
There is coffee, yes.
Okay, Risha
It
is
is
having-
the most primitive version of coffee, though, so...
She doesn't care. She wanders over, like pours one cup,
Mud mug.
immediately downs it in a single go, fills up the other one, and then leaves without taking any food.
Maxim will speak up.
Yeah, just a mud mug.
You know you can get larger sized mugs, right?
I don't need a larger sized mug.
Here, he helps you get one off like the kitchen top shelf, and he hands you this like 60-gallon, not gallon, Jesus
Gallon.
Christ.
Gallon.
Gallon.
60 gallon.
Wow, 60 ounce.
Cup of holding confirmed. Write that down. Write that down.
60 ounce. She's just gonna pour what she currently has into that one, and then fill that one the rest of the way up, and then take that. Just like, yep, coffee.
I thought she was just gonna slam back the second one and then fill the third one.
Everybody starts gathering back into the meeting place. Maxim, Karavok, and Althea also after grabbing some breakfast for themselves.
As Johnny sits down at the table, he just like pulls a broken femur out of his pocket and just starts gluing it back together on the table.
Can you please do that anywhere else, Johnny?
Sorry. Just like they're already starting to get stuck together. He's like,
Riley
So,
just
I
hands him
finished.
another femur.
Just finish that one.
Thank you.
You can have one of the spares.
Do we have too many chairs?
No?
No. We have one extra. No, I don't think so.
I
Even if we did, it's like we have room because we might have,
Yeah.
there
You
is
know what?
one.
Python can have the seat right now. Yippee!
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh God. Yeah. So.
Oh, you know what happened?
just-
I think I designed this without thinking that this was not going to be a player
we go.
seat for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about it, and I was like, how did the board? And it worked out in our... Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. Python can fill the extra seat.
Oh God, yeah, Pytherkin. So we're seeing there's an extra seat. Just kind of summons Pytherkin. And he just appears in the seat.
Mm.
He is still noticeably taller than everyone but Aurelie.
Aurelie's gonna kind of like lean over, like to look at Simmer around Diosne and go, he doesn't get a vote still.
Yes, you're very right on that. Anyways, I
Simmer just
suppose...
shrugs. He's like, He likes to watch.
He likes to sit at the
Important.
table.
Does
he's
that
a
mean
fucking
you
cat.
turn into a cup chair?
So he's like
Well,
some sort of like fire elemental thing, right?
No, he is a
No.
plant. His
He's a
core,
plant with
there's a
fire powers. Get it right.
So is he just passively hot, or does he only like use the
I
fire
would say
powers
he
at
is
certain times?
uncomfortably warm to the undead.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hold out the bone I'm gluing together to dry it faster.
That's not how glue works, Gage.
Quiet.
No. Johnny can be wrong.
Johnny can be wrong.
It doesn't mean he can't try.
Karavok will just put his beak in his hands and gently rub both sides of it like it's his nose. Oh, jeez. Oh,
We're gonna make him
our
regret this
elite
decision.
Group, huh? Well, Rasha, at any moment you can begin the meeting.
Well, that moment will be now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome
Takes
to
a sip out of a mug bigger than her head.
mug bigger than her head. Just clunk. I almost feel like a person. Wow. 2 more of these and I'll be awake. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a productive week with minimal screaming in the place in which we live. Just sideways glance towards Aurelie.
She is
Just-
not doing a sideways glance towards you right now. She is just staring.
Okay.
Full
Just wanted to
attention.
make eye contact. Let's making full eye contact. All right. Well, I don't think it'll be a surprise for anyone to hear me say that we have a lot of work ahead of us. So, before we get down to what our esteemed hosts and employers would like for us to accomplish, why don't we give a I don't know, what have you all been up to this last week, and what are your plans going forward? And things you've noticed around town in the area that need to be worked on, improved, or fall within your remit.
Who would you like to go first?
Let's go clockwise. Let's have Aurelia go first.
Okay, so as you all know, I had finished the medical examination. There's nothing much of note, and nothing much will come of it. It's mostly future proofing for if and likely when things start to evolve in terms of our physical health. Mentally, I can't exactly pull out a tape measure and get a reading on that, so I'm going to have to use best judgment to police that sort of thing.
As you say that, Johnny just kind of glances over and be like, that ship has sailed already.
Ship has sailed already. What have you noticed in terms of immediate health effects? What will we need to worry about?
Everyone seems to be in somewhat good condition. There's no major concerns, and it seems like stain has not started to seep into the physical. Every day we remain here, and the more days we spend in the field, the more likely it is that we begin to become afflicted. Other than that, some of the militia managed to corner an Erectus, and I gave everyone a small spook by not understanding the extent at which the basement was related. I will work to minimize noise coming from them.
You know, Aurelie, next time we can just give you the straps to muzzle it.
There will be other creatures. One size muzzle will not fit all, and we'll be improving the place over time. It should be not a difficult.
All right.
For the one who
You
was
guys-
trying to figure out, it was Johnny and Diozane, I think, were fighting. No, Stump.
Stump.
Okay.
Yeah. Stump and Diazne are trying to figure that out. All right.
All right. But back to what Aurelia was talking about. The reason I am trying to capture specimens alive is that it will help progress understanding of how stain begins to manifest in the physical. And if I can progress that enough, I think I can begin working on a treatment, possibly a cure. I don't know what that's going to entail yet. It may be very uncomfortable when we finally figure out what can do it, but I don't know.
You need the restock of your medical supplies.
Sorry, what was that?
Karavok will speak up and say, do you need the restock of your medical supplies?
My medical supplies are in order at this time.
Very well.
Out of
Really?
character, Dylan. I don't think I have charges on my medicine kit.
Yeah, I don't believe medicine kits have charges.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just you just have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think depending on which version you use, you may just like consume it. In like, I think in first edition, you just use the thing. You just have to get different ones. I don't know how they do it in second.
I think you just use it as like a tool.
Yeah, it's a toolkit. It's not a
Yeah,
like that's
it'll
the
just-
advantage of the non-magic caster is that I don't need to worry about a resource. I just need time.
That's kind of cool. I
Hmm.
love that.
And
that's-
still out of character, I don't think Aurelie has gone through a lot of medical supplies anyways. She's mostly just been cutting into things to see where it's all at.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not concerned about repairing the holes afterwards.
No,
Gotcha.
no. The meatball that she threw over the cliff, I think is indicative of that.
Neat little thing. It's awesome to know that herbs, treats, purchase them as action. Yeah, no, once you buy it, you just have it. You have to occasionally restock the supplies, but it's assumed it's done when you go to town, essentially, so you're good.
Yeah, that's like a game master tool to say, "Oh wow, they've been literally out for months and not made any attempt at this," you know.
Yeah. Like, okay, yeah, as long as you're in town, I'll say it's easy enough to restock, because it is.
And I
Cool.
will make the light point that Aurelie is from this area and has kind of survivalisted out in a little town. You
Yeah.
probably could find some natural solutions to some of the replacements, but that's like a check thing, I think. If it ever comes up, which I don't think it will.
No.
Um.
Alright.
Anyhow, Aurelie is going to pass it off because I don't think she has anything else to mention, really.
Yasne, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
I have a number of different thoughts, but I wanted to save the majority of my observations for discussing which position exactly I will hold. As it is, I mostly spent this week becoming more acquainted with the town.
What is the overall population of the town, Dylan? Like what? Like we've mentioned before.
At first glance, it looks to be just a lot of general workers and
Well,
stuff.
like number wise. Like what is the how?
You guys are looking at around 200 to 300 people.
I'm assuming that number is planning to go up with our first expansion. Like we're gonna set it up.
Eventually, yes.
Yes. Okay. So not a great number of people right yet. It's a decent amount, but sorry. Continue, Yasne.
No, I think that covered most of it. As I said,
Alright.
I've been familiarizing myself with the town.
Alright.
My other thoughts I'll save for when we resolve the matter of positions.
That will be
And
next on the agenda.
she
We'll see.
flicks a glance at Bearer of the Stump as she says that.
Bug boy. Alright, what does our resident tree man have to say?
Hmm. I spent the last few days familiarizing myself with the local flora and fauna.
Anything of note?
Squirrels are more tenacious here.
Squirrels are more tenacious here.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise than that, most of the plants are familiar and or already known to me. Of why I'm used to working with.
Neat. Stump? Bearer of the stump? Apologies, I don't know who you wish to be referred to as.
Uh, either either stump or bearer of the stump's fine. I would also like to save my findings for later on when we get to decisions. But for as far as what I've been up to, I have been trying to make a few bits of coin by learning some cooking skills and just scouting around, seeing what the town holds for the most part. That's pretty much it for me.
Was just 30. Alright. How is it? Pytherkin? Pytherkin?
Pytherkin is a part of Simmerbark.
Ah.
Yeah, Pytherkin, he just kind of looks over at you
Oh,
and
that's
just
not
kind of stares.
that's not his own person. Got it.
He gives a small nod. Well, Python can't talk, so.
No, he understands everything that's speaking right now. Like he's a fully sentient being. He just stares at you, kind of creepily, before looking away.
All right, and then Mr. Bones.
Well,
no longer distracted with said item.
Yeah, after he's satisfied that it's dried, he's tucked the femur back in his pockets. And as you guys are talking, he's just, respectfully looking at each person who talks. Not really saying much, but when it gets to his turn, he speaks up, says, "Well, there haven't really been any complaints lately, so I've just been fixing my bones, and if I get a spare minute or two, I'll head down to a tavern, tell some stories. That's pretty much all I've been up to."
Understood. All right. Not much so far, but then again, we have not been observing much of the town. I myself met with some of the townsfolk as well. As they are majority workers right now, but I'm certain that their families and more people will be coming once we begin working on our next expansion of our townstead. However, before we can begin talking about that, there are, has been mentioned, a few things we need to discuss. First and foremost being the vote for our new head of efficiency, and which will also neatly resolve our need for a head of secretarial duties. I believe that both Stump and Diazne have thrown their hats into the ring, such as it were, for the position for head of efficiency.
Yes.
Diazne, I believe you said you had information you wanted to
Thank
share
you very
now in
much
order
for
to
the
help you make
follow.
your case.
The press
Before we
Right,
begin
yeah.
that, do either of you have any reservations specifically against the secretarial position? Any reasons why you think you would not be able to fulfill that? And she is pointedly just staring blankly forwards, not looking over at Diazne at all.
I think given my skill set, it isn't necessarily a position to which I am best suited.
I don't think paperwork
But
agrees with fire.
it's more that I am capable of talking with people, but my attitude tends to be more confrontational than shaking hands and kissing babies, as it were. Now, there is obviously a place for confrontation, but I feel like that level of my natural level of animosity is better suited to a position like the head of efficiency. Stump?
Um, I mean, I guess to be honest, I'm more of a soldier than I am really a secretary, but in overall, I could be either or at the end of the day.
I think in this situation, I do see that secretary is going to mostly entail keeping track of, eventually, some of the staff that we're going to be hiring, right? What is going to be the full list of duties, perhaps? That may clarify.
Maxim will speak up at this part. Well, the total jobs are narrowed down to you guys as head of the board, as we have Rasha. She's going to be the one keeping our meetings and stuff on track, as well as helping keep track of the overall flow of how things are going. She'll be working closely with Karavok. The head of security, which is you, Aurelie, will be working closely with me, making sure that nothing bad happens and we don't have any unwanted visitors. He looks over at Diosne and for a moment and goes back to his conversation.
And she inclines her head at him, just like a little nod.
I love it. Head of listening to people's problems. Yes, that is the official title. I believe. Oh, that's you, isn't it, Johnny?
Why, yes, it is.
If there's any disputes among anybody, you're the one who's to resolve them. Understand? You are essentially our legal system. Deal with it in the most fair manner possible. And we do have the right to override any of your decisions, provided it's too grossly exaggerated. The head of monster killing, Simmerbark. You're well more suited to that than we initially thought. Your role is to essentially help security, but your role is going to be on the outside of town, acquiring samples for O'Reilly and making sure the rest of us are just overall safe. If you see something that's a threat, you and Pythorcan are to deal with it. Head of secretaries, this job is mostly going to be helping Rasha in terms of helping meetings go along. You'll be working closely with Althea in terms of moving out, helping with the expansions on foot as well. You are the go-getter of the group. Um, as for head of efficiency, your job is to make sure that all of it moves quickly. If one branch seems to be lacking in one regard, you are to help them in one way or another. Now, you're supposed to do this in as civilly a manner as possible, but we'll see what happens. He'll sit back and look to Althea and Karavok. Althea will mention one more thing. It's important to know that all of these jobs are important in their own right, and you will fall into each other's jobs at some point. If anything happens that nobody can resolve by themselves, it comes here. And we will bring it up at the next meeting. She'll sit back. Continue, Rasha.
Well, in this case, I believe it would be best for all of us to move forward on a vote. Althea, Maxim, and Karavok, are you going to be participating in this, or are you going to leave it to the rest of the board?
We are still a part of the board. We will still be voting. That is correct. I couldn't agree more.
Aurelie is now going to ask, shall we be doing ballot systems or shall we be doing
I believe we're all responsible enough individuals to be able to simply vote aye or nay. Well, yay or nay. I don't believe that there should be many hurt feelings at this table.
Presumably, to check, presumably we're not allowed to vote to participate in the vote ourselves,
No,
either Stump or I.
I would recommend that Stump and Diosne recuse themselves from the voting, as their votes
Obviously.
are quite predictable. Well,
Mhm.
in which
If-
case, I will be willing to begin.
Okay.
I would like to begin. All those in favor of Stump maintaining the position as head of efficiency, raise your hand.
So Aurelie is going to not raise her hand if Stump is the remaining as head, is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, being head of efficiency,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Risha is not raising her hand either. I apologize.
Johnny is not raising his hand either. He wants to see how this is going to play out.
Althea is raising her hand.
Althea is raising her hand. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Maxim
What's-
is raising his hand.
Figured. Okay.
Simmer will raise his hand.
All right, we're 3-3. Karavok, you're the tiebreaker.
He will not raise his hand.
Well, 4-3, a contentious tie. Nika will pointedly settle back and just adjust the collar of her suit jacket. In this case, I believe that we can all agree that that result was clear. Stump will be our head of secretarial duties, and Diosne will be our new head of efficiency.
One moment. Karavok will sit up and kind of peek his hands into a semicircle.
Wait, did I misunderstand which way this is going?
Maybe. The vote. I said all those in favor of Stump being head of efficiency raise their hand.
Oh
So,
crap! Johnny raises his hand.
okay. So
Very
My
slow.
bad.
Slow off the mark there, man.
He was trying to put the femur back in.
flipped it.
Oh, there, Gage.
I flipped it in my head. I'm sorry. I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, the femur was very distracting.
Yes, it was.
Relly's
It's
gonna take
incredibly
that from
distracting.
you.
If you can't pay attention, you can't play with this at the table.
Karavok will sit back up. I don't think they both have made proper arguments. He's gonna look over to Diosne.
No, I was
And-
going to say that we haven't made any arguments for ourselves in the position yet. As much as I appreciate the quick call for a vote,
I thought that's what you guys were doing when you were discussing your
That was
information.
more introductory statements. So a debate will have to be a little back and forth. Don't worry about it. That's part of the reason I had Karavok interrupt the vote.
yeah, it's all good.
I was
Um,
also going to say something as well because
I figured you would.
so we'll make this easy. We'll flip a coin. Rasha, whose heads and whose tails?
Yosne flashes just like the briefest imperceptible grin at that.
Trump will be heads.
That was the weirdest roll I've seen for a 1d2. Love it. All right.
Leave Risha for not Risha, Diosne.
Then so one is heads, two is tails. So that means
Yeah, tails that rhymes with sails. So made it back to a ship.
so
Anyway.
either the stump is first because you said Diosne was heads.
Diosne's
Other way
tails.
around.
yeah,
Diosne's
Diosne
tails.
would be tails, so I was heads. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Diosne, you will make the first argument.
Thank you. Firstly, I mean no disrespect to my fellow candidate. As I understand it, they come from a place rather distant from here. Now, it could be argued that the same is true of me. I come from kingdoms further to the north, but I've travelled south slowly over the course of my life and career. I believe it would be fair to say that Stump is less familiar with the mores and normalities of this society. Now, obviously, this is understandable and not a mark against them, but in matters of efficiency, I believe that there shouldn't be any cultural misunderstandings, as it were, that may arise from their lack of familiarity with the situation. Additionally, there were a number of things that I noted during this week that I feel that it is important for us to increase efficiency on, or at least begin interacting with in a more efficient manner. Now, obviously, I am aware that that you three have been working hard on setting this up, and thus, therefore, various things have perhaps become second priority, and that is, again, entirely reasonable. But I believe that if we wish for this project to succeed, some attention should be given to them. I don't know if anyone has any particular preference for which I want to start with, but off the top of my head, various things which I had a few thoughts on how they could be made more efficient include the mining plans for Stone Kingdoms, of general defenses of the town, various issues of supply and demand. Any preference?
With directed at me or
Generally at the table, but
okay. No particular preference. I gotta
Right.
get some water. I'll be right
Then issues of supply it is. Obviously, supply is in relatively high quantity right now. But the fact of the matter remains that if this project expands, securing supply may be more difficult, especially as, and I could be incorrect here, it seems that there is one viable way that supplies enter the town, the train line, correct?
Until otherwise, yes.
Right. How like and the creatures of sorrow aren't stupid, are they?
That depends greatly. I mean, some of them don't even know they're creatures.
Right. But they're not stupid. If we
No.
begin setting out from this place and they trace us back here, it would be relatively easy to cut our supply lines, as we only have one. Now, there are a number of ways that we could resolve this. One is to secure the seas more thoroughly so that we can begin taking supplies by ship. One is to reinforce the train line in some fashion. My suggestion, however, would be to gently, perhaps, encourage smuggling. It's going to happen inevitably anyway.
Laughs. Oh, young one. Oh, I'm a few years ahead of you on that.
Are you?
Yes, I am. He shows the tattoo on his wrist. Who do you think runs it here?
As far as I'd spotted, you mostly seem to be employing a rather large number of con men, not smugglers.
Who said
And
they were
convict.
here in the town? I don't keep all my chickens in one egg basket, sweetheart.
If you're smuggling things into the town, there need to be people here to receive them. I'm now more annoyed with you, Dylan, for not like. I specifically asked that I was looking into whether there's smuggling going on, and you told me there wasn't. So I feel kind of irritated. Sorry.
Right now, there wasn't any going on right now. Reason
I feel like
being,
that's. I feel
you
like it's a
guys
bit
came in
overreacting,
with
but
the
okay.
supplies from the smuggling.
I feel like that's. I don't know. I feel like that's.
That's
I feel cheated slightly, but okay.
Alright, I'll
wait.
make it more clear next time.
No,
Yes,
that
Hunter?
doesn't make sense. Because if we're there would be more activity then if the supplies just arrived.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel kind of cheated.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry.
No. You guys have a right to feel cheated there.
Yeah, I specifically asked I was looking into this thing, and then and you said it wasn't going on. Okay. Whatever.
I feel like
I'm
that's
glad
a gentle retcon situation. That's a
Yeah.
God has lied to you.
Easily.
Yes, God has lied and he is not sorry.
We'll say it wasn't clear
You gotta
Maxim was
do
the
that.
head of it until now.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean, to
clear
be
that
fair, you wouldn't think
No,
Maxim would be the one in charge.
It absolutely was clear that Maxim was the head of whatever was going on, but the way you set it up, it did not involve smuggling.
There's more to it. That's all I'll say for now.
Sure. But given that I'm just annoyed. I'll stop for now. It's fine. My thing's been kind of like jost. It's whatever.
Gentle retcon. We'll say
Okay.
you did know about some of the smuggling.
In that case, I'll say that obviously there is a level of smuggling operations already ongoing, but I think that stepping them up a notch is probably sensible as we begin to expand. In particular, I feel like having a thriving black or grey market will also encourage a certain level of immigration? No, it's the wrong turn, but it'll draw a certain number of skilled people into our orbit where they can be put to other use if necessary.
I want to say, like while the Ozane is talking, Aurelia is going to, like, somewhat politely, sort of like rest her hand up on the table, sort of raising it, waiting for her turn to speak.
Ah, Aurelie, what do you want to say?
I want to say the less activities we perform in light of day, the less likely it is we are to detect and that we're not keeping track of. And that is unfortunately a major concern where, for example, one werewolf could slaughter an entire flock before it could even be reacted to.
Airbog
True.
will push this along and say that is a very valid security thing. This sounds like something you two could discuss after Barra has a turn to have an argument.
That is fine. We are also off track, where we've gone from why you should be head of efficiency and more into what you plan to do.
I feel like that's part of why I should be. If I have plans for what to do,
The
then you know what a
details
vote for me
don't need to
involves.
be discussed in depth, more along the lines of,
Again, a conversation for another time.
yes.
Bearer.
Thank you. Uh, so, from my proposal, well, at least for my thing that I would like to at least say is, um, even though I come from a place that you mentioned is from very far away, um, there was, well, the way that we saw efficiency in the sense was um, basically producing new buildings, like new factories or um, new types of work areas. Since from the sounds of it, we already have workers. It's just a matter of getting them employed. So, for what I'm thinking is, I would like to rebuild the area that's currently uninhabited, that has not been built or has been like in ruins for quite a while, um, which will take some time, but due to my abilities, they may come in handy in terms of rebuilding it faster, along with the help of possible workers if they're willing to go for the long term plan. Um, which that is at least one of the things that I am thinking of currently if I were head of efficiency.
Hmm. All right.
Are there
I
any
suppose
further
it's on to
points
closing
you wish to
argument.
discuss? Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Um, I will also mention that uh, at least for the closing argument, that even though Diosny has plans, are we 100% certain that they're going to work that we think that the way we think they are?
Nothing is certain until it happens. No plan survives contact with reality. It's just the nature of the world. If you're asking whether I would have ulterior motives in enacting those plans, no. I want this project to succeed.
Understandably so. Just two different goals for how to perform it. Mm. But I think I've made my point clear.
Well, if there are no further points anyone wishes to make or rebuttals or questions for our two candidates,
Aurelie has a question. Raise her hand first before talking.
Okay. Really?
And then she's going to turn to Stumps and ask, you said you came from the military. What rank did you hold?
Um, actually, out of character, that is a good question. I don't think I wrote that down.
Yeah. I'm looking at your backstory. You didn't. So here's a moment to just pick a rank.
Pick a rank, figure out how many people you're in charge of. The higher, the better you'll do in Aurelie's eyes.
You could totally
Well.
lie. You don't have to say what your real rank was. We would never be able to know.
The quadruple
That's
star
also
general.
valid.
He's the Master Chief.
Yep, senior master chief.
Triple Lord General. Duke
Triple-
General.
The double
Fuck it,
general.
you know what? He's the king.
Super general of efficiency.
Mega Ultra Mega Ultra Admiral.
Mega Ultra Admiral General.
Head of the Sky Police.
It's not a great decision.
Honest. You just want to get out of that one as soon as you get it.
But it's the head of the Sky Secret Police.
Sounds
Alright.
like your
That's
character would have
even worse.
at most been like a sergeant or maybe a captain.
Let's drum roll for his rank, everybody. Drum roll, please.
Come on, you've got to tell us your rank. I can't drum roll.
I know. I'm writing it down.
Say it with your words.
All right. My rank as I was part of the what you would call the Entian Sacred Guard was rank 3, Wood Area Commissaire.
Ah.
I was in charge of commanding people, along with gathering good information, and basically dispatching foes that I saw as a threat to our society, or our colony, I should say.
And you, Diozane, you came from an organization before you arrived here?
multiple.
I've been a contractor primarily, but I have held a
Right.
number of
Oh, sorry.
command and control positions as a contractor.
Could you give me an example of the one you feel is the most applicable?
Of course. I've now got to come up with names. I'm so bad at names.
You mostly just have
Um,
to say, like, how many people you were in charge of is what Aurelia's looking for here. And did you do busy
a, cer-
paperwork, or were you, like, putting things together?
a certain politician wished for the mining company, well, the industrial company that their brother owned, to have access to supplies outside the standard supply chain without necessarily having to deal with the legal issues of setting up a mine in a more traditional fashion. I believe during that operation, I was in charge of maybe 80 or so other guards and assorted staff, and uh, a couple of hundred employees.
I see. I've heard what I need to hear. Thank you.
No problem.
Honestly, I'm out of character. This is going to... You know what? No. Aurelia is going to say, in character. Well, to me, it sounds like a question over how important do we think the role of secretary is going to, as I don't see a whole lot of motivation from either of these. Pursue its functions to the fullest. But I agree. I think it will find the work somewhat rewarding. Anyone else have a piece that they would like to ask?
Althea will look up. Regardless of who gets this position, the secretary is going to be working with me. The better question is, do you think you can keep up in my position? And she'll sit back down.
Dang. Throwing the gauntlet.
Diosne looks very much like she'd like to say something to that, but isn't going to.
Oh, come on, take the challenge, please.
No,
Please.
no,
Oh.
no. She has a game plan. She's not going to disrupt the game plan just as not fun as it would be. She's not going to disrupt the game plan because of one taunt.
Oh.
2 or 3 taunts, maybe, but
She's
one.
a fucking video game boss. You gotta hit her weak point 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man.
All right. The 3 members at the head of the table will look down at you, Rasha.
What?
Suppose it's time.
Want the music just get a lot louder for anyone else? Or is
Yeah,
it-
the music just got like 20% louder.
Yeah,
I keep
Yeah,
fucking up and adjusting the wrong thing on the guest account, I realized.
Wow.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, because it's
Hunter.
global to everyone.
The dramatic swell of music was fun. But...
Yeah, I didn't think
yeah, I thought this was like
Got it.
we just found a clue or something.
Yeah.
Big skur.
Horatio's going to just sort of nod and like clasp her hands together. Well, with that done, why don't we go through and hold the second round of voting? All those. Whoop. Hello. All those in favor of Stump holding the position of head of efficiency, raise your hands. And this time, Horatio's gonna raise her own hand.
Johnny raises his hand. He was paying attention this time.
Yeah, yeah. You took your femur away, so you had to pay attention.
Don't worry. This time Aureli's the one distracted.
Yeah. What's the rally vote?
Zimmer, what are you voting for?
To be honest, Zimmer's kind of either way. To be honest,
Johnny takes his femur
like
back.
he thinks Commissar is interesting, so you know. He's never had to work with a Commissar before, so he'll vote for the Mr. Former Commissar.
Aureli looks like she wants to change her vote, but elects not to. She still votes no.
Interesting.
Althea will raise her hand. Maxim will not raise his hand.
Interesting.
Alright, so what's the total
I
now?
think with you, Johnny, Althea, and Simmer,
Majority is going.
Stump becomes a head of efficiency with 1 vote.
You guys hear some snoring going on.
Oh, Karavok's
What?
asleep.
Karavok fell asleep. Fantastic.
Maxim will wake him up. Hey, Karavok, come on. And he.
Aureli's
sorry,
going to ask up all night?
How'd you guess?
I mean, you fell asleep in your chair.
It was rhetorical. Thank you.
Also, out of character. That's another one for the evidence log. Write that down.
What? I'm confused. What?
Karavok, the bird guy, the one with the fucking cough in his room that we don't know about in character.
Oh.
He was up all
He was
night
up all
doing
night.
something.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is vampire.
highly suspect. Highly suspect.
Did I
Our
miss
current
anything?
theories
I'm
are either
sorry.
vampire or lich. We're not sure yet.
By the way, even though Diosne lost the election, she grins.
Yes, the Risha is pointedly, like she seems upset with herself, oddly enough, and is not looking at you, like doing her best to not have you inside her field of vision, which is hard when you're down
Oh,
table. with
Diosne
her.
isn't looking at you.
Oh.
Diosne actually looks over at Stump and grins.
Wait a minute.
Hold
Wait a
up.
minute.
Wait a minute.
She reverse psychology'd your ass.
Interesting. I, as the DM, say that's interesting.
Well,
I
my
saw
vote wouldn't
through
have
this.
changed
I didn't
either
want to fucking get a fucking position.
I don't like this. Something happened, and I don't like it.
Illusion.
What did you guys talk about? Wait a minute. What did you guys talk about the other day?
Illusion.
I was not involved in any of these talks, so I don't know.
Yep, no clue.
Illusion.
yeah, who knows what we talked about?
Yeah, I know.
I hate
I know what we talked about.
Oh well. Alright. I suppose that, Maxim will look around and, say, well, I guess that means we move on to the next, item of business, which is what again,
Next.
Raja?
Our next item of business will be our first leg of the expedition. How we plan to accomplish that, where we're headed, and what we will need in order to start.
Arafok will roll a map out onto the table. It being the Land of Crows.
I knew that was happening. I knew that would happen.
You know, to the land of crows.
4 legs on the floor at all times.
What happened? He gets back in the chair.
The Land of Crows. You guys are going to be choosing on which part the first leg of your expansion will be going. Whether that is the mountain, the island, the swamp, the forest, or the plains.
So
And you run down the cost benefits of those again because it's been a while.
Absolutely. The good news about the swamp, as little immediate benefit as it provides, it is also the easiest. The hardest thing anybody has to worry about is poisons. This is known as the Sunk Horse Mire. It is low risk, easiest expansion.
Eh?
If we go to the lore and resources, I can reply it to you guys real quick, as well as I believe it's pinned. Yeah, it's pinned. Kinda. It's tagged. Should be pinned. It's not pinned. I'm allowed to pin these, right?
You should
Yeah, you
be.
should be allowed to.
Okay. That should be enough for both of those. Do not worry about the wastes. You cannot expand to that yet.
Where is it posted? Sorry.
The wastes are known as the Scar of the Cabal. They are the furthest away from you guys and cannot be accessed until you have 3 of the 5 keys. These keys are given by certain sorrow bosses located in each one of these areas. Moving on to the Dark Pit Forest. This forest is medium medium risk, medium reward. This area is going to be treacherous. It is forest. It is Aurelia's most feared part of the entire area. Yeah, see? Literally, I was literally saying it. I knew you were typing something about that. Aurelia is going to be adamant about not going here. Let's go with the Dark Heart Spires. This area will help you guys fulfill the contract with the Moonstone Kingdoms, as well as start providing more resources into the town for you guys. Taking care of this, though, is going to be long. It is mostly downward. There are a lot of fire and lava-like spawns down there as the world is heating up.
Interesting.
Finally, we'll go with the plains. This is high risk, high reward. This area, as simple as it is, boasts the most dangers. Between things that hide in many of the tall grasses or hide in nearby seemingly oases. The ghost towns from the previous generations of people that were here, this has the most danger.
And the island.
The island, this area is
Also nasty. If I remember
kinda.
right.
It's just mostly hard to reach. It is a month of sailing, and that is where the expedition failed 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Once you get there, though, there's rumors that there's a monument on the only landable beach there.
In character, the obvious place to go second is these mountains. Well, I guess, yeah, in and out of character, obvious second place is to go into the mountains.
I'd argue that's the obvious first place, but I can see it as an obvious second place as well after getting the stuff from the Mire.
Right, like you go Mire, you go mountain.
Personal opinion, settling the Mire and
Out of characters, I think we go forest and mountains. In character, Aurelia does not want to go to the forest. She does not want to deal with the werewolves.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
Rish's
would
opinion.
say... Oh, go ahead.
Swamp first, mountain second, because swamp seems easiest to settle. We've been told, and what we need right now is a stronger, just sort of home base. Then we can move on to the mountains after, once we have the resources from that to rely on.
Yeah.
The mountain could definitely be pretty quick.
if we go mountains first, so that is like that is the gambit move, you know. Either that goes incredibly well for us, or we are fucked.
True.
And I feel like we can soften the gambit move by doing forest or mire first, you know.
True.
If you really want to go all in on gambit, I feel like we do mire, then we do spires. If you want to do something where it is still very risky, but I feel like we'll have a better time doing spires, we do forest first, struggle there, then do spires, and it'll be less of a struggle.
My argument is start on the island, because once you guys do get to the island, there is a monument that you guys can make it back to Warren's End with. Unfortunately, the people on the boat won't get to do that, but...
Yeah, no, we get isolated as fuck if we do island.
Yeah, we're not doing that first.
That feels like number 3
Yeah.
to me. Like,
Yeah.
whatever we do,
Yeah.
island's number 3, just because
Yeah.
we need to establish better supply lines before we do island.
Yeah.
Also,
Agree.
I have a thought as well. If we do island, eventually when we do island, out of character, because technically Stump could just make us a boat.
I don't
Out
think
of
the
thin air.
boat's the issue. I think it's the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's far
yeah,
enough
that-
away that, yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense.
So, all right, do we want to do the Spires Gambit, or are we going to do the Mire or Forest?
I feel like Meyer, because that's the closest one, right? So security-wise,
Yeah, and we are still level 1. It just feels kind
yes.
of a bit
If
low
it makes
risk,
you
low
feel
reward
better,
isn't
you guys
exactly.
will be getting a second level after this session.
Yippee!
Wait, we'll get it just flat out get 900 XP?
Oh wait, no,
Incredible.
that's right. It is XP based.
Yeah,
so
there's-
this
yeah.
guys would only get, since this would count as a medium quest, everybody would only get 100 XP. That's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't forget.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
Why'd you open your mouth? Why'd you remind the teacher we had homework? Come on, Alice. If he says it, he can't take it back.
Dang it.
By the way, are we
Now we're
operating
getting
on
Friday homework.
Are you operating on the rules that if I remind you of a rule that disadvantages us, you get inspiration, or in this case a hero point?
Yeah, go ahead. Take a hero point,
Nice.
Alice.
No, she's farming us for hero points.
No.
I
Can
loved
get
this
one?
rule so much when I was the game master. Now I hate it.
Hey,
You can get a hero point because you got the role you were looking for. You got the head of efficiency.
yay! I have 2 now.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it sounds like the question is: do we mire or do we spire? Right?
Do
we claim the spire or wallow in the mire?
Mire or forest. Mire or forest is the argument. But given that we're going to be level 1 for... Yeah, I think Mire's the way to go.
Yeah. As much as I would
Yeah.
love to
Lame
jump
is-
into the werewolf-infested forest,
As lame
Level
as
1
it feels
seems
to go
like
for,
that.
as lame as it feels to go for the one called low risk, low reward.
That's me summarizing
And
it. That's
that's our
me.
level 1
Yeah.
adventure.
It
No.
could be good, depending. Even though it's low reward, it could end
Well-
up being something pretty decent.
A boss weapon is
Hey,
still a
that's-
boss weapon, you know? It might not be
Right.
the best one in the game, but it will get us places where we need to fucking go.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know,
it opens the doors.
Yeah.
Depending on which type of boss you fight as well, it either is a weapon or it's a party buff if you find the main boss.
So,
Ooh.
to like talk like grand strategy that might not actually be a thing, going for Mire is actually really good because it basically solidifies like this chunk as more or less secure, right? Versus if we
Yeah.
start going up here, there's this like this is weird little sandwiching that's gonna happen to us, you know, if we
Right.
go there. And if we went to Spires, we've kind of already agreed that Spires is so fucking dangerous that we should do that second. So,
Right.
so I feel like Meyer is just it is the book opening move that is very simple and will get us guaranteed progress in developing our board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although, out of character, I really want to go to the forest because that'll be really funny. In character, she fucking hates the forest. She does not want to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thought is we could do this one and then this one second, because then we would have a big square.
I think we need to do the stuff for the Moonstone Kingdom fairly fast.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
why I
fair.
think Spires is
Otherwise, our funding is going to get pulled.
second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Although
That's
I
gonna
am
be
going to
very
ask,
inconvenient.
speaking of speaking of the funding and Spires and the length of this campaign, how quickly is Kingdom trying to get this? Because if we are like halfway through an area, can we like switch directions and keep our progress, or is that like a
As long as you guys have the monument, you'll have some way to keep progress.
Okay, so it feels like
Oh.
we could do more than one area at a time. We might as well try to dip our toes in around, I think, see what we're dealing with. But our first expedition, I think, should be the Mire. I think we should, you know, not fall to sorrow.
Did I hear eat every weird plant you find in there?
You are going to be the one to sink in the mire first.
He'll be fine. He's made of bones.
I'm super light. As long as I wear my big shoes, we're good.
Sorry, I didn't clarify. You're going to be the first one buried in the mire.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Well, on that note,
Our last point of business.
Yeah, I feel like this is restart mire.
Mm-hmm.
Book opening?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And then
Then it'll also give us all a chance to, work together, figure out synergies, all that jazz.
And if the mire
Yeah.
kicks
So
our
then,
ass, I'm gonna be honest, we should probably just give up on the campaign. But if the mire kicks our ass, we can go somewhere else.
True.
True.
Watch is like the Mire is technically the easiest, but it just
it's gonna be the
hard
hardest.
counters every character in our party. So we're like, wow,
Yeah.
this easy area is so hard, and then we like walk into the plains and just start slaughtering everything.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, Dylan gave us a great hint as to what we're dealing with, and it's a poison
Yeah.
swamp from Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Poison
Oh.
swamp.
Wait, it's poison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I'm
great.
immune to
'cause
that.
I have
or
resistance.
I'm resistant to that, right?
Which, thank fuck. I'm not, so.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm
in
a
the front
plant.
anyways. So
I don't know. I'll have to look up how leshies work with poison, because I'm a
You
plant.
guys can still
Plants
get
can be poisoned.
Well, I know, but I gotta see if I have like some weird. Oh wait, nope. It's if I was a fungal leshy, then yes, I'd be fine. But where I am not, yeah.
Alright, well,
Oh, I mean, I knew I had like an advantage against poison, but I didn't realize it was only a +1 circumstance bonus.
Plus one
Yeah, I
thing in
think
this
that's
game,
the like
plus one
if you
thing.
eat it.
Anyways, I want to go over this then. So we're going to the mire. We're gonna deal with poisons. We need to get prepped. Maybe some antidotes. Maybe some antivenoms. Whatever gold we got on hand. Spend some of that on those. I am pretty effective at treating people for direct damage. I need to double check my stats for my status effect treating though. One moment.
I also have an aura that gives people +1 temp HP. Just to give you a heads up.
I'm mostly worried about the like, oh shit, we got poisoned. That's a lot of damage. Oh yeah, I have a treat poison.
Oh, nice. Good job.
We love treat poison.
All right.
Okay, treat
then-
poison literally just gives you a +2 to the roll if I succeed, so it's not like it's great. But
I mean, still better than nothing.
that's true. That's
Gives
true.
me a +3 in total. You know what's stupid? I just realized I'm not immune to diseases. I can still get leprosy.
As a skeleton?
I mean, leprosy makes sense.
But you already had that shit.
Anyways,
like,
Is it
apparently
leprosy,
I
or
can-
is it just you decomposing?
so Dylan, can we talk to the mayor and get our repair powder and antidotes?
I'm gonna smack you.
Dylan, you have to remember, this is the party that is, prepared. Or we'll try and be prepared for things instead of just running in.
Speaking of being prepared, I need to get some
Oh.
oils of unlife.
Also speaking.
Game
being
Master, I
prepared,
didn't see a yellow submarine on the map. Where's the mayor live?
Jacob, you were gonna say?
Sorry, my brain is trying to process what.
Yeah.
What was
I'm
he
making a
just
video
saying?
game reference. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay. I have a repair toolkit if anyone's weapons get broken or armor gets damaged.
Oh, so he's got the repair powder. Okay.
Well, I have it's a toolkit, but it's It uses craft skill.
Pretty sure that was another video game reference he was making.
Same video game.
Same video game. Yeah, that would make sense.
I see.
Okay, so we're just going to move to the last point we have to do for this meeting. And then our last point is going to be, how do we want to expand our fledgling town? And what do we think our priorities should be? What should we devote resources towards? What do we think we're going to need moving forwards?
Aurelia is going to offer
Harbor?
to go first, but
Oh, yeah, there you go.
and comes in with we should make sure that we have a stable food production. Things that interrupt our natural cycle of harvesting and refining food we're going to need to be prepared for that. It's going to happen. And outside of just winter. Could be facing maybe a blight on the crops based in the stain, or perhaps some prominent figures are killed off. Will not be with a large population. I'm not quite sure the logistics of the food situation. I remember a few winters where my family was not very large.
Johnny Bone's gonna look over and be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you guys need to eat. I haven't felt hungry in 30 years now. Well, actually, I take that back. I feel the hunger every day." And he reaches towards his pocket and just holds his hand over the pocket that he put the bone in.
Hmm.
And just kind of stares off into space.
The mire, is my suggestion on where to start. Help secure the border more than anything, and while the lumber I don't think will be easy to harvest, it will be available.
If you guys do this, the rough time frame is, let's see, our contract ends in 3 years for the mountains, 2 years.
I think we
So,
can begin
we-
work on the mountains within the year. Mostly we're trying to establish our foothold and get a buffer against the course of the
If you're confident.
And from that buffer, we can start striking out the progress in the mire. I think will accelerate greatly if things start to cool off and rains slow down. And Aureli's done talking.
I think that the harbor and the food sounds good from what you mentioned, Aurelie.
Fishing could be quite the lucrative endeavor. I'm not quite sure what is in this such thing.
Might be good to look into at some point.
Aurelie said,
Ah.
damning some poor ship of sailors to sea monsters 3 scenes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, given your feeding of sorrow meat to the fish the other day, I'd assume that they're somewhat unstable.
All game
If we
will
are
be
to
around
expand,
here. Not really a unique
but
aspect.
if we are to expand with a harbor, which I think is a good idea, we probably wish to invest in something to defend our sea lanes, as it were.
So this feels like a situation where a bunch of players are trying to think of stuff to do, but they're kind of uncertain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what is available to us, Great Game Master?
Alright. So, expanding into the first town expansions are things like a harbor. You can expand your shopkeeping area. You can expand the train station. Most of the general facilities around town that just need to eventually see some kind of upgrade in the near time.
I
in
think
order to
harbors are
access
best
the
first move because confirm
Yeah.
or deny. Does that get us access to food and a alternative trade route, or just one or the other?
It will give you better ships to go to the island, as well as open up a second trade route into the Moonstone Kingdom that will be slightly faster.
Ooh, it's even better than the train.
Now, for
Only
contrast,
because the
what-
harbor town just doesn't quite reach to where you guys are because you don't have a noticeable harbor for their trade ships.
put up a billboard.
Well, if our harbor is expanded, we can support larger ships, which also presumably would allow us to get fishing ships that would probably do well on that supply. I don't know how much we have to like worry about that, but that was like an in-character worry of Aurelie's rather than a thing I'm going to like hark on really hard.
What would expanding the train station do?
Expanding the train station would add for an alternative train that would essentially double the amount of trades coming into the town from the Moonstone Kingdoms in the time being.
Ooh.
As well as secure a track to the cave that you need in the mountains.
I'm afraid you're broken.
That's pretty important then. That feels
Yeah.
like item number 2, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be item number 1.
Yeah.
I will say each upgrade takes 3 months in game to complete.
We did say we'd do it within the year, so that means that if we do that as item number 2, that's 6 months out.
I feel like that works.
And if we do the harbor first, then we open up the trade route more openly. And we have an alternative in case something happens to the train.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we're doing it for the supplies, I heard that the harbor route is slightly better than a train, so it's not. It is better than double what would happen to the train. So.
So my one argument against that would be we were planning on going to the mountains after the mire, right?
Yes.
So the train would give us the rails we need to get to the mountains, I think is what you said.
The quick travel.
Easier access, not needs to, but
Okay.
But that would be the thing we need to build before like the end of 2 years, because that's going to be for the actual trading contract.
Ah, okay. I thought it was just easing our path into the mountains, so I thought it would be something that we should have
it's a
before we
little bit of
go.
both.
Oh, okay.
Which
Alright.
is why I say we do that second, because that, we really
We're not on the
throw
mountains
open the
yet.
supply lines
Yeah.
really early and like get access to the mountains at the first half of the first year, which is our second zone, and I don't know how long it'll take to do the mire first. But if we can do it in a year, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll
Sounds good to
about
me.
line up. Because if we do it third, we risk finishing the mires before doing the train.
Mm-hmm.
Which would then leave us in a weird position where we're working on the train, but it's not done yet.
Yeah.
And we might as well just wait around for it to be done. I just think
Yeah.
do train second,
Yeah.
do the harbor first,
Train second, harbor first. Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah.
The only downside I see to that, playing devil's advocate, is if we build harbor first and then desperately need something new, then we kind of bone ourselves on the train.
Yeah.
But I feel like we can take that risk because we're taking so little risk with going to the mire. Like, the mire is the least risky opening move. I feel like we can take a little bit of risk in this because we have such a unrisky other half of this operation.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Greeble.
Yes, there will be
Fucking
creepy
what?
crawlies.
Yeah.
And I hope... I know
Just
one of you
realized-
has a bit of a phobia of insects.
I don't need to worry about mosquitoes anymore.
Oh my god, you truly are the most powerful character in this party.
My God. He's immune to malaria.
Simmerbark's got a mosquito fucking, like, stuck in the sap on him.
Fun
Yeah.
fact, I am not
Well,
immune to malaria, just
Actually,
mosquitoes.
as a plant, Simmerbark is probably the most likely of us to attract mosquitoes because mosquitoes
Yeah.
actually prefer to eat plants.
But it's fine, because he likes plant. He's plant man.
Yeah, but
He
you're
doesn't
gonna
get itchy.
be covered in bugs. They're gonna eat you.
Yeah, that's fine. I have,
What do you mean?
They only take little
this
bites.
is a fantasy game. I'm
yeah.
powered for
I
on.
have,
Yeah,
Pythrakin to,
He's a
go ahead
mosquito.
and burn them.
He's like a
And then
mosquito
you,
zapper.
then
but
you
tired.
guys can have burgers.
stop redeeming. It doesn't do anything.
Did I hear bug burgers?
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like we've settled everything. We're just fucking around right now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
If that is the case, Kervik will look around at the table. Well, I thank you all for participating in the meeting, and you have the rest of the time to go about yourselves and do as you wish. Make sure you prepare yourselves in the coming weeks. The banquet that happens in 25 days will mark the start of your expedition into the swamp.
So we have 3 weeks of waiting till then. Okay.
Dylan, are you
This
keeping
will
track
allow
of the days
everybody
here,
to get
or?
more detailed information and whatnot. We will handle the 25 days here.
Okay.
Basically, I just want people to be able to interact with each other and discuss the meeting in game now.
Oh,
Just
okay.
kind of their feelings and, maybe go check out their office and stuff now that, that's been settled.
So I'm going to ask a few questions as head of the security. I'm going to go on the assumption that basically all the people who are in these positions of influence have been properly vetted. Like,
What you mean by that? What are you trying to say?
at least passingly remove cursed cast upon them, detect magic cast upon them.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're safe.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Hmm.
Aureli's going to... When we start dealing with werewolves, Aurelia is going to steal Rash's flask. The werewolf paranoia is an Aurelie trait, more than it's a me trait.
Interesting.
Well, Rasha, Diosna, you guys are now on the same, you guys are...
Yep, that's my
Yes, we'd like-
secretary.
I feel like we should discuss my duties at some point. How exactly you want me to help out?
Staying as far away as possible.
Johnny
I
pulled out a
think-
bucket of popcorn.
Johnny with a bucket of popcorn. Rasha's staring hauntedly into her 60-ounce mug of coffee. Just like... I'm just imagining like a popcorn bucket with a handle. Like, I'm gonna be real.
I'll be honest, when he said
No,
bucket of
my brain
popcorn, my
was-
brain went to the Dune popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
No.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Truly, there can be no saving us in this land of horrors.
It's yeah, coffee and the horrors.
It's a well-documented phenomena that when you bring a popcorn bucket into the Sorrow Lands, it turns into the Dune popcorn bucket.
Oh god, not the Dune popcorn bucket.
They're the first things to get corrupted. Nobody's sure why it appears to target the popcorn buckets.
Oh.
So, I'm going to ask everyone. Aurelia is very likely to start trying to progress her research in this situation. I feel like this is the type of thing that multiple characters can be involved in. My first research goal, because I laid out a few to Dylan. I will share them when I find my chat where I mentioned them. I texted him a lot.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Where the fuck is it? First goal is reliable tests and detection. Even those tests take in-game time and or resources. Second goal is the reliable tracking of the mutated creature, and the third goal is going to be repellent. I don't think the repellent's going to like literally stop them from mauling us, but I'm looking for a thing that's going to stop us from getting ambushed in the middle of the night.
Sorrow mace.
Yeah. Not that I think it'll ever work, but it might help. But detection right now is the most important thing to me, in character and out, because I don't want surprises. I don't like surprises. Surprise is bad. We're gonna fix the surprises by making sure that there will be no surprises.
Boo! I love surprises.
Well, every time there's a surprise, Aurelie will glaive the surprise. And the people who love the
Boo.
surprise.
I don't like being the surprise.
I have a question about Johnny Bones. Really quick.
Yeah, shoot.
This might have come up during the medical exam. I don't know if it does. If she takes his head off, can she just take it with her?
Yes, his head is still fully functioning, though he has trouble controlling his body without it. This is
So I just
canon.
start stumbling around.
There are skeleton monsters that have an ability that throw their heads at you.
That is very funny. So if she takes your head and puts your head on your desk, you're gonna have to fucking figure out how to navigate stairs you can't see.
Yes.
Wonderful. Absolutely peak. I know what I am going to be doing at least
Fantastic.
once. We're going to test the limits of range. Because I am a little munchkin. I'm a little fucking min-maxer. I'm a little fucking Gremblo. You want to know the type of thing you could do if there is no range limit? You could.
And I'm not 100% certain, but I think if I'm supplied with the bones, I could build a new body around my head.
Well, if there's no range limit, right? I could take, like, let's say your fucking pinky bone. We could just take a couple of, like, your toe bones, and then, like, we could set up, like, a fucking Morse code bone signal network.
That's horrible. I love it, but it's horrible.
Oh no, I just love it. It's incredible.
Can you Addams Family walk your hand across the ground?
I would assume so.
I have so many
I don't wanna
questions and
say
so
too
many
much without
possible
going here, but-
abilities.
I don't. I have to check how Gage's rate.
Oh god. It can almost be the freaking,
Can I store things inside of his skull? Does that matter? Can I do that?
I have daggers stored inside my chest cavity.
We can put
Given
things in
him
his
too
skull.
much power. You've given him too much power.
he's too powerful.
I want you to
I literally have two
understand.
daggers that are hidden inside my chest.
Johnny Bones is going to be a Lego figure, and I'm going to try whatever accessory I can get my grubby mitts on.
Oh, no, you can't move your hand after it's been removed, essentially.
Really? Because I don't specifically have it, but as a skeleton, I can get an ability where I take my arm off and use it to give me an extra 5 feet of reach for attacks.
Send me the link.
Yeah, hold on.
It might be a thing you have
I
to
might
spec
have been looking
into.
at the wrong. Oh, I have to look at the skeleton as a whole. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the feats. I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. Well armed. I think. Your detachable limbs offer flexibility. You interact to remove your arm and wield it in the other one, increasing your reach by 5 feet for any one-handed weapon held in that arm. If your next action is a strike with that weapon, creatures that were outside of your reach that you can now hit are flat-footed against your first attack. You don't have a free hand while holding the arm. You can
That's
interact to
different, though.
reattach the arm while holding it.
That's different though. You're detaching an arm to give yourself literally a weapon. That's what that is.
I mean, I'd like to think that you can still move the wrist and stuff while you're holding the arm. That's
yeah,
holding
Yeah,
the
because otherwise
weapon.
it's just like flop.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a,
Plus,
that's
I mean-
a flavor thing of like you can be like, oh, so in that case you can.
I feel like it's more
because
like a.
you still have a physical connection holding your arm,
Hmm.
right? So you can still control the other limb, versus it just being off on its own.
True.
You could just argue that, and that's why that worked.
Then how does he put his bones back together?
Very carefully.
The rearranged skeleton feature?
Yeah. I can kind of shapeshift
Ugh.
into any humanoid, medium, or small creature. Also, if I hit level 17, I can scatter my body and transform into a whirling storm of bones for 1 minute.
Ugh.
So I do
More-
have some level of
So you
control
can just
over my
become a meat
bones.
tornado at will. At level 17.
Well, I mean, it's a bone tornado, but yes.
I'm gonna have to.
I want to
ask you
imagine
later.
Maximus sitting there
Never.
listening to them talk about the fucking taunts. What can we do with your bones? What happens if I take your hand off? Wow, she increases her defense? Incredible.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, really?
Ooh, potato
Yeah.
cake. I love potato cakes.
You were talking about your research before, is that correct?
Yeah. I'm not making a
I-
lot of progress, but I hope to change that now that there's actual resources behind it.
Would you like a
Okay.
second hand, possibly?
I'm going to need as
looking
many
at
hands as I can
Sara?
get. I need to examine them all. Oh, you mean... Yes, you may help.
Yes, the Sara manipulation you talked about before.
Well, first is being able to detect it reliably, even in subjects who aren't displaying signs of it,
Mm-hmm.
which is hard to do.
I like to imagine that throughout this entire conversation, Aureli's been staring at Johnny without breaking eye contact.
Oh, yes. Also, she now has blinked for the second time.
Whoa. You still haven't seen Johnny blink, just saying.
I mean, yeah, he's undead. We wouldn't expect him to blink. You also haven't seen Simmer blink.
I mean... Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Oh no! It's the rule of 3 again!
Aurelie does blink, but I just realized someone here's a fucking bug. They don't blink.
Yeah.
Someone here's a
I've
plant.
got 3 don't blink, 3 do
Oh my God.
blink.
I
Dylan,
hate this more and more. I hate this more and more every
it's
day.
happened again.
So many every time.
Did someone say my name? And then he just goes back to sipping.
Uh,
All right.
Actually, now that I think about it, Simmer doesn't have, like, eyes per se. They're just kind of like...
They look like
Fuck.
berries.
No. It's just into his head. It's very disconcerting. But, like, the space around his eyes still, like... Oh, wait, no, he does have eyes. Never mind, I lied. I don't know why yeah. My brain not work. No, so he does have eyes. He doesn't blink. But, yeah. For he does not have eyelids. Yeah.
Have no eyes and I must blink.
Anyways, so what are we doing for downtime action?
No, we're not there yet.
Sorry.
Hey,
Yosenet?
that's an end of session thing. That's like.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's ages away. Come on, man.
I wanted to go over some plans here. That was what I was poking at. I was like, what are the plans for this? You know, how do we get the shit together? Actually, I have a few questions about this room, Dylan. Can you describe to me how fucking well insulated these walls are? Like, does the sound leak out? Yes or no?
Of this room, no.
Well, sounds like everyone
No.
is probably winding down on the whole bones conversation. Now Aurelie's checked out. She's looking to go find something to drag back to the basement.
Oh, when, what's it called? When Simmer sees a stump there, take a swig of maple syrup, he'll just kind of squint at him. As much as is physically possible. Eyelids. And it'll say, I would please ask that you refrain from drinking the soup of my kin, for lack of a better word.
What? So you want us to be all carnivores? Is that what you're saying? Plants are people too?
Plants are people. Some of them are far more intelligent than
Aurelie hears that as she's leaving.
others.
We had eggs this morning, and I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
In fact, I
but
quite like
eggs
them.
aren't sentient.
I mean,
Think
I've only
about how
seen-
you. Okay, think about it this way. How would you like it if someone drained the blood from your body while you're fully conscious and awake for it, and then boiled it,
I've
and then
heard of
drank it?
vampires before, but I haven't seen any in the area.
Sounds
Mm.
like a fun evening.
Mm.
What is Johnny going on about?
Well, he literally raises his hand while Simmer's talking about having their blood drained while they're still living.
Ain't as bad as you think.
Wait, is it better or worse?
He just raises his hand. Yep. Not a pleasant experience. Just saying.
I would assume so. I mean, they always scream when I do it.
I mean, after
Wow.
a
Are
while,
we
you start.
Did no one tell me that we were all evil?
Yeah, this is like an evil campaign, isn't it? Hold on.
Yeah. I realized this at the start when people were describing their shit. Alright, so let me explain how this works. We have evil, just straight evil, okay?
Oh.
We have chaotic neutral leaning to chaotic evil depending on your moral compass.
Who are you count? Hold on, can you describe who you're describing as this? Is this what you're saying?
So Diosdane is the
He's
literal
definitely neutral evil. I think that's fair.
Yeah, Simmerbark would be either chaotic neutral or neutral evil, depending on
I think
how
chaotic neutral so far.
Yeah. Depending on point of view.
I'd say Aurelie is lawful evil so far.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you know,
Aurelie's more in
experimenting and
the lawful neutral section. She hasn't killed people yet.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a
Lawful
lot of
neutral to
emphasis
evil.
on that yet.
There's a
Okay,
lot of
Johnny
nuance
Bones.
in that yet. Yeah.
Johnny Bones is probably like chaotic neutral.
Actually, if
I haven't
anything,
really got a read on him yet on if he's like evil or not.
honestly, like, I'd have to probably put him at neutral good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
getting
was
that
saying.
vibe.
Either neutral good or like chaotic good, one or the other. And then Stump, I don't know about Stump. He was basically he was a commissar, so that's obviously towards the neutral end and or lawful. So
I put Stump at lawful neutral so far.
yeah.
Like I haven't
So
gotten
this
like
whole party is leaning neutral to evil,
What's your
Okay.
read? Yeah, that's fair.
and you're a bureaucrat. Russia's
Yeah.
a bureaucrat.
you're a moral
idiot.
corrupt lawyer.
Lawful-
You're a lawyer. You're
Yeah,
already
a lawyer.
lawful evil.
I
Yeah,
am
you're
a
a
corrupt
lawful
lawyer.
evil.
You're not wrong.
Exactly,
that's-
corrupt lawyer, even worse. See,
I'd say Resh is lawful neutral.
At best, yeah.
Actually, no. I'd say you're chaotic neutral, but you forced yourself to be lawful neutral.
You know what? You know me so well, darling.
Oh no.
yeah, so
The
this whole
ex-lover
party
story
is
is
neutral
gonna-
to evil, except the undead, funnily enough.
I mean, in terms of everyone going, yeah, this owl lady is definitely going to kill someone. I'm not joking when I'm pretty sure we're going to deal with situations where people have gotten the affliction, and that is going to be.
Yeah,
To decide
you are
if-
literally
yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein, but instead of your own monster, you're, fucking with people who are, turned them,
Well,
got turned
Aurelie is
into
going
monsters.
to make the choice that is very obvious of, yeah, no, just fucking cut their head off and or let me poke around in their guts. Like, I don't think that's gonna be a big twist when she...
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think the party's really gonna care, for the most part.
Johnny might.
It kind of
Johnny
seems like our
might.
employers are a bit more like criminal leaning than I thought they were going to be. Honestly, too.
Yeah.
I love that, like, when I
long
started
as
this
you're-
game, I'm like,
you're-
yeah, everyone's
you're-
probably gonna
you're-
play like a
Why
neutral...
was this a surprise? One of them is a noble who's literally trying to set up his own private kingdom.
That's true.
And what noble doesn't do that?
I thought he was doing it for
come the
purely.
fuck on.
I was told that Karavok was doing this for purely religious reasons. Like he saw it as a religious obligation.
Uh-huh. They
Oh,
said
yeah,
the same
no,
thing about-
no.
they-
Oh,
they
no,
said-
no,
they said
no.
they said the same thing about the Crusades, babe.
You know
Yeah.
what? Okay, fair.
They just vote.
Yeah, the Crusades were about, bringing peace and prosperity to the Holy Land. Until they realized, hey, there's a lot of gold here.
No, they
Gold.
weren't about either of those things. What they were fundamentally about was the conflict between the moral tenets of Christianity and the moral tenets of feudal society.
Well, I'm talking about the
That's
selling
what's
point that they
resolved.
used for, the
Um,
masses to be like, hey, join up, liberate the Holy Land.
Not really. They didn't really. Okay, that's a fundamental misunderstanding of how recruitment worked in that period. You didn't have to stimulate the masses. You obeyed your lord when he told you to sign up, or you got your head chopped off.
The
Like-
good news, this isn't that kind of situation. You guys have moral and
Yeah.
religious freedom here, so
Yippee!
To an
The
extent.
moral's
thought-
gonna do a lot of heavy lifting.
yeah,
To an
yeah.
extent.
Yeah, I thought he was just taking it back because it used to be his family's land before the Sorrow took over, and he's like, "Give me my land back."
No, the Sorrow's been here since fucking prehistory. Did you not read the law sections on that?
No, I don't mean like.
I
It's
was
been
under the
expanding,
impression
and
that
it's
it
been
was,
taking his land as it expands.
Sure,
Yeah.
but
That's how it was described to me, is that he's reclaiming lost land, basically.
I was under the impression that the land was at some point or another came under their negotiated jurisdiction, and that
uh-huh.
he's trying to fucking claim it. Is what I thought. I don't remember, and I had a hand in writing this. What the fuck?
Y'all are deeply naive.
Oh, I know he's.
Hey,
This
that's
is a
what the
power
DM
game.
told me.
Nobody's gonna say that's not the reason, but we're going over the
Yeah.
stated reason here.
All right.
Regardless.
Moving as you guys are having your lovely conversation there, Diosne, you were approaching Maxim and Althea
Yeah.
in the
Diosne left
cafe.
left the meeting room after the quip about the blood drinking sounding like a nice night out. And sort of spotting Maxim and Althea decided to sit
And
down.
you wonder
and
why
order
we
some-
call you evil.
That's not evil. That's just kinky.
Yeah, that's just blood play, man. Come on. That was the joke.
That's just a little bit of
Come on.
vampirism, like fucking vampires.
Yeah,
Come on.
come on. Yeah. Let's not conflict kink and evil. Conflate kink and evil. Anyway, she sits down on one of the sofas and sort of looks at them both and is like, "Thank you, both of you, for your votes, even if they were opposed."
Well, we're not just gonna sit here and be meat sacks, honestly. It's
From the room, I take offense to that.
No, we've been told that sound doesn't travel out of the room very well, so presumably therefore it
Dang.
doesn't travel into the room, so you can't hear it. I have been wondering, though, given that we've been given all these fancy titles, what titles do you both hold?
Althea looks up and forward operating manager. Maxim will respond. Head of internal affairs.
Yosne snorts at that. Makes sense.
It's like I was made for the position, huh?
I wouldn't have put it quite that bluntly. I'd have thought you had a logistics in your title somewhere. But internal affairs also makes sense.
Karavok's technically the one in charge of logistics, although Karavok is Karavok. He's already down at his desk in his room, writing whatever it need be to the Moonstone Kingdoms to keep the correspondence going.
I did want to ask about that deal, actually. I'm aware that we're not pursuing it imminently, but I feel like it's sensible to know the details. Especially given my new position. I imagine I'll be taking up the matter of some of the correspondence myself at some point.
Eventually, you'll be in contact with the liaison. I haven't even had much conversation with them, but be ready to correspond with them any day now. Karavok will introduce the two of you through letter, copy it for you.
As I
You'll
said,
get a
I'm
copy of the
curious.
copy.
I'm curious about the detail of this deal.
Ah, yes, sorry. So this
All
deal
right.
includes us opening the trade route to the coal. Once we open up the coal, we'll presumably start receiving a lot more resources, even some higher end stuff. Stuff like silvered weapons or even adamantite lined leather.
So we are trading the coal for additional supplies, effectively.
To help expand the territory.
Indeed. And I presume that we are supplying the labor to mine the coal ourselves?
No. They are
Oh,
to
they are
provide their
supplying
own
labor.
Our only
Interesting.
goal is to open the line. We can't do that until
And then they're in
Hogan
charge of...
Taro there is
So
taken
we'd
care
be...
of.
So it's more a single action contract.
Correct.
Interesting. I
Once
had
we,
been under the impression it was a more ongoing deal, but
once we establish that trade line, we'll have constant trade of whatever resources for the next 10 years. Which is why we've been given the time frame of at least closing the deal within the first 2.
makes sense. Speaking of deals and duty, implied that my new position would involve working alongside you somewhat. Althea?
Yes, that's correct.
Care to fill me in?
Well, essentially you'll be with me on the front lines when we do start establishing more areas. You'll be moving back and forth, of course, through the monument and its shattered pieces throughout the region. We'll be moving throughout that, making sure that we can at least get plans drawn up, get idealistic trade routes moving, setting up and bushwhacking paths, where the forward operating after you got established.
rather more hands-on than the position sounded. I think I'll enjoy it.
Can't say I'm quite surprised reading your track record.
Yosne grins.
Unfortunately for you, you're not my type. But
Oh no,
I'll
I
make
had
it work
shot.
professionally.
Oof.
no
Can't blame
worries.
you.
You're not. No worries. You're not mine either.
Mutual understanding has been established. She'll grin it back at you. Cheeky one. And begin
Wow.
just walking downstairs. Alright, does anybody have any other RP things they want to finish up?
I have another one, but I will wait for that.
If she wants to come harass, pretty sure.
No, I want to ask you about my fucking duties. I'm your 2IC now. If I get a chance to banter with you, I'm obviously gonna take it, but like, I need to know what the fuck my job is. So,
Ask them for your job. You already got them.
yeah, I got some info.
The other part is, well, unfortunately, literally is going to be seconding your motions and stuff in meetings now.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to ask you about that. I'll wait on that. I'll wait on that front. To see if anyone else wants to do anything.
I did see that Aurelie is gone, or is not on this
She went
floor
downstairs
anymore.
to start, probably she's gonna go out and pester the fucking head of militia or head of guard, I don't know what the official title is, for more fucking critters and or leads on critters to bring back home.
Is that part of the sorrow manipulation research?
Yes.
Then I will be accompanying you to that.
He needs things to get inside of the guts of, to figure out how it all works. And they need to be alive so that they can squirm.
Eh. Yes, Sup will accompany you to that while you're, or as you're heading out.
Oh boy. We got 2 people going hunting for monsters.
This is actually really hard for me. Like, as a player, I really want to go and help with that. But as a character, I cannot condone it.
What?
I won't. I mean, Johnny's not gonna stop her, but he's not gonna help. It's
Was head of the monster hunting division. I feel like Simmer should also assist in this matter.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All
Yeah,
right.
that makes
I got
sense.
3 people hunting Erectuses. Got it.
I really wishes we could get something bigger than another fucking erect. He mumbles to herself. They don't have enough guts.
Enough guts.
Just Johnny, Raja, and Dio's Day inside the guild hall now.
Actually, I'm half thinking
I-
that Aurelie would just, like, grab Johnny and drag.
I mean, like I said, he's
More
not gonna
funded
stop you.
experimentation must be made.
You're not leaving my
Unless I'm
sight.
the
She
target
grabs
of the
Johnny and just drags him
Well, I guess he's being dragged.
Right. In that case, I suppose.
Oh no.
So.
Richard's back in her
leader
office.
mine.
Hold on. Richard's back in her office. Hold on.
Yeah,
Office
Dio's
slash
name-
bedroom.
Yosne raps on the door with the back of her hand. Just
There's like several seconds of silence before she calls for you to come in.
is she?
Yeah, when you open up the door, you can see she was putting something back into like a desk drawer.
Is she? Well, now you face the consequences of your own. Now you face the consequences of your own actions. What duties do you have for me, O head of the board?
Oh Lord. She's just sitting at the desk with like her head in her hands. Just
Regretting your vote already, I see.
unfortunately, I was persuaded by the logic of the arguments presented and not my emotions. Not something I think you'd have much experience with, but
Oh
Thinking
no,
things-
I was persuaded by the arguments themselves as they occurred. How did your meeting with the station master go? I saw you out and about the other day.
He's an affable sort. A cheerful older man with no family and
Yes.
children to speak of, and
Everyone here seems terribly affable on the surface.
no obvious levers. So if we're going to get in through if we're going to get a foothold in the train yard, I'm afraid it might not be through him.
Oh, I see you're already trying to game things.
Because I left for a while didn't mean I stopped playing. You should, all people should know that. Can I can trust you on very few things, but can I trust you to at least
That hurts,
in
dear.
an already tumultuous sort of situation we're in? Can I trust you not to be looking to shove a knife into my back at the earliest possible opportunity?
Yosne pauses to think for a second.
Yeah. God, that's not the response you want immediately. Just,
Not, unless you mean literally, no. I don't intend to backstab you in terms of any actual power games. I do still want to kill you, rather badly, but I'm willing to let logic win out over emotion.
The one that got away, is it?
Very much so. I was rather peeved to get the papers. It does make it rather harder to become a widow if you're divorced.
Unfortunately, you ran out before we could talk. If you were so caught up on this widow thing, you may have wanted to set fire to our house rather than my place of work. But
I feel like my letter explained things adequately, but regardless, no, I don't intend to stab you in the back, metaphorically at least, for the time being.
Well, in terms of in terms of duties or plans, I have none planned currently. Or no long-term goals of any sort. I'm still assessing the situation as does. You always
I
were
was
better.
planning on the same thing.
You always were better at the groundwork than I was when it came to.
Because I actually did it. You left all that sort of thing rather behind, as I understand it.
She's like visibly trying to not get into it with you right now. Visibly just like, I would prefer it if when it comes to interacting with the various organizations and groups, she levels a couple of raised eyebrows, pointedly raises her eyebrows at that one, in the area. If you were the one to take the lead on that, I will do my best to get ins with the people more in charge on the ground, as it were. The head of the train set network, and perhaps our soon to be increased harbor.
Agreed. In that case, I imagine you'd probably want to know about the interesting barter economy down in town.
I've not been made aware as of yet.
Oh, it seems like a fairly simple system. It's, I think, mostly started by the ex-cons I spotted. It operates similar to the few prison dealings I've seen in the past. Basically, you trade for work gold or direct trade of goods. It all seems very equitable and hard to break into in a more direct industrialized fashion.
Less interested in currency than what it can get them. Understood.
Yes. I was able to get a number of cigarettes for an hour spent weeding, for instance.
We'll have to figure out what people want before we can figure out what we can take them for. And
It's more that it seems more individual person to person. I don't think there is a market to break into as such. Then again, I could be wrong.
What's your read on Aureli, our sorrow expert?
Oh, I rather like her. I rather like her, which probably means you really shouldn't. She seems like she's 5 seconds away from completely snapping. But I will admit she seems knowledgeable, and I rather enjoy her violence.
You always did have simple tastes.
What can I say?
Very little, apparently. Well, in terms of actual secretarial duties, I don't think you'll have to worry too much about that. I know you struggled with paperwork and reading, so I'll handle
darling.
that, and I won't
Don't
require you to take notes.
don't project your own educational issues onto me.
Hmm. That's very, very not happy by that one, of course. The gay is getting thick enough to cut with a knife. Oh boy.
The gay aura.
The gay aura. Okay.
Alright.
I don't know about gay aura. This is mostly just repressed anger at this point.
Aw.
Isn't that just like 90% of like toxic lesbian ships?
Yeah.
that is fair. That is fair.
Yes, this is classic shipping
come on.
material here.
Yeah. They hate each other. Make them fuck. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll solve
They hate
everything.
each other. They have
Ah!
history.
Haha,
Hold on, we're getting
surprise.
called to a different.
I wish I could have done that more seamlessly. My bad.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, I just want to say something, I guess, since we're kicking the scene off. This is less to Dylan. Well, this is directly to Dylan. Hey, Dylan, what phase of the moon was it last night? Of, any of them? Any full moons? Any?
One is waning crescent. One is waxing gibbous.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the third?
Given the information you gave me, it is 1 year into its waxing gibbous.
Okay. So we did not have a full moon last night. Understood. We can cross werewolf off of the list for Karavok, I think.
Alright. Actually crossing it off of a list. This is
Yeah.
Alright. You guys are out in the training area. Aurelie and Johnny, you know this is where some of them like to sneak in. As it is not within the safety region of the town.
See any? Is this a perception thing?
No. This is you guys getting a chance to get some roleplay done.
Oh. The music was making I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here's something.
Yeah,
the music is
listened to the full track. That's on me.
It's the big one, guys.
I was
came up for
honestly
a
expecting like a
If
minor
you
boss
want a
fight.
big one, don't mind if I do. Let me throw you a
Yes.
CR one of them real quick.
Oh
Dude.
god.
Aurelie was literally just grumbling about how the guts aren't big enough.
Well, you might get your wish.
Yeah.
Like we got here and then the music kicked on and I'm like, oh shit, it's a mini boss.
Oh my god.
Right? I was like, what the fuck did I start?
They split the party and throw a big one at him.
That's what I thought happened. I thought this was gonna be session 1. We're gonna have someone die.
Yeah.
The real
fine,
thing that
everyone.
needs to go up
I
there.
I
instead.
swear to God, if you guys get XP and we don't, then I'm gonna be very sad.
I don't know. I feel like the roleplay itself was worth XP.
Yes, it is.
I would say
Roleplay
so as
itself
well.
like that is worth
Oh, we also have to
15
keep being
to-
gay at each other. We can power farm
Yes,
this.
being gay. at
Hell
each
yeah.
other, that is
Hell
you
yeah.
get
Feed
15
into the
XP.
ship
Hell
and then
yeah.
constantly break up, and then we can farm
Feed
it.
into the ship. We came in with a pre-established ship. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. Feed into it, then break
I
up,
don't
and
know,
feed
I
into
don't
it
know,
again.
I
It's-
don't know. I don't know if it's an end game boat. Like, I feel like
No.
We ship Rashane.
Not all relationships are positive.
Frostination.
This is a hate ship.
You guys heard me about the 15 XP though, right?
Wix.
Oh, we get 15
Are we
XP?
tracking
Is that-
that? Hold on.
Is that everybody or
They're
just
both
them?
getting 15. Everybody gets 100 flat for the the small quest bonus, essentially.
So how long?
So
How much? should we
everyone
get?
who is not the two shippers there, we're all at 200 XP total.
Yes, and the other two are 215.
Don't worry, we'll earn our 15 today, right now. Okay,
did not
cool.
realize you-
Simmerbark, we need to get into a lover's quarrel.
For
For the XP, Philip.
Wait,
For
you
the
guys are
XP.
lovers?
They are now.
Yep.
Oh no!
I mean, hey, Simmer's literally all soul.
Oh, it's a joke. Unless.
Unless, just kidding. Unless,
What if we put our Minecraft beds next to each other?
no, what if we put the Minecraft beds next to each other?
Anyhow, so we've wandered out here to the training grounds where things are often spotted, cornered, captured, killed, discarded of. Aurelia on the whole trip is mildly irritated.
Sorry, you made that noise, and I thought that was already like moaning in anticipation.
Jesus Christ.
Where things are
Oh,
discarded,
no.
found, left behind. Oh.
I want to go home now.
Too late.
I'm
You should have
uncomfortable.
decided to stay there.
I don't
You
like
should
this.
have
Guys,
just
you
decided to stay
You
there.
guys made the
Oh.
crucial mistake. You guys forgot to establish a safe word.
Oh, we learned that one from
Tibula.
experience.
Hey, look, you don't want to go with the definitely normal doctor to a locational.
The only reason I let you take me anywhere is because there was more than 2 people going with you.
I don't know about the other two people, stopping anything from happening.
He wants there to be at least witnesses when he gets buried.
Mhm.
Anyways, Aureli's led them all out here. She's been moderately irritated, especially because the board wasn't set up the way that even though she realizes that this is probably for the better, she definitely does not like Diozane already playing fucking games.
Yes. Yes, talk about each other behind each other's backs in front of each other. Yes.
Yeah. And she actually is going to voice this to Stumps. I'm not quite sure, but I'd rather people not start playing politics already. It's just figured out who's doing what. I think you'll be better for the position. I'm sorry I did not vote for you, but I do not want Diozane's plans to be fully real.
That's perfectly understandable.
It's scary.
Well, out of all of us, she's the most likely to burn down the whole thing, figuratively and literally, if she thinks it would benefit her. I think everyone else here would at least put in a little bit of effort to right things.
Sure, which is
The
understandable.
gardeners take good care of plants. That means we must take good care of town.
And with the
Johnny
more
is like-
stain we scrub out, the better your plants will do.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny is like just starting to realize that despite the fact that it was funny and he said go for it, this may have been a bad plan.
What?
Putting Diosne as the secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
The head of
why I
efficiency
let you
has more
guys
power.
do that.
Yes.
Simmer will, I guess, also pipe up and say, from my understanding of how these positions work, the head of efficiency will have had more power to play politics than a secretarial position anyway.
Well,
Secretaries, you can just kind of, and he'll do like a chewing motion
that's the thing.
and just kind of leave them away from the important things.
I want you to think about for a brief moment. If Rasha dies and there's an emergency, who is going to be the acting head of board?
Warlock?
Maybe.
Or Maxim, or, probably
Out of the
if it's
board
under
members,
suspicious.
it would be the secretary, as they are doing the assistant work to the head of the board. Oh yeah, most of us haven't really sworn in the monument yet.
No.
That's true.
And
Yes,
nobody
if we
did it
die
in
in
their
this expedition,
downtime.
we're cooked.
And
It is
nobody did
literally
it
a
in their
walk out
downtime.
to the field as we talk and poke at bushes.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, Aurelie takes her glaive off. It makes a fucking loud mechanical clank as she fully extends it and just kind of like one-handed, unlike impressed, starts poking bushes. I don't hear any, so it's unlikely that she's going to actually hit something. Poke, 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 poke.
She spears a squirrel.
Oh no!
The
they're like
squirrel
they're like the fucking Zelda cuckoos. You kill a squirrel, they all come out of the fucking wood.
You're like, you stab it, but these squirrels are what was the term you used?
More tenacious.
Yeah. So it just like you stab it and it just pulls itself up your spear.
What? That's a little more than just tenacity.
I mean, hey, yeah, but tenacity from the immortal plant man. So,
What fair?
Unimpressive poking happens. Hithercran grunts. He looks around, grunts again. Does his little vine tendril thing, pokes around in a few bushes just like you.
Aurelie, talking as she pokes, is gonna continue. While I don't think she's going to make any sort of plays like that, it is worth noting that she's the most likely of us to. Says the
Sorry,
person.
do you mind if I ask what
Oh,
I'm the most likely
Aurelie
to do?
thinks you wanted the secretary position, that in case Rasha dies, you would be the acting head of a board, and that would...
That would be a great plan. No, that wasn't my plan.
Yeah, but Aurelie's giving you a lot of credit here. She is a paranoid motherfucker.
No, but you're paranoid about the wrong thing, baby.
Yeah, true, but she knows you wanted the position for some reason. And that's off the top of her head, and hearing your little statue statement, she's like, this person's like vying to get as much control here as possible. Regardless, back to the in-character conversation. Aurelie, I guess we're gonna move to the next bush. Oh, there's not very many bushes here.
I mean, we can go to this tree.
Yeah, kick the log. She puts her big talon on the log and just kind of shakes it back and forth. When nothing comes out of it, she fucking stabs the glaive down into it. But I need to ask you. Do you think that she can be trusted?
Absolutely not.
You're not here.
I'm aware I'm not. I'm saying this to myself in the background. It's not a...
Absolutely not, is the echoing voice of the fucking psychic goblin inside of our brain.
Yeah.
I forgot she's a psychic goblin. One could say that she's a mind goblin.
she is the mind goblin. I did make a mind goblin character. Yes, I did it. I made the mind goblin. I wasn't. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I didn't even notice until Dylan made the joke.
You fool.
I had no clue what I had done to myself.
I want I want to say, way before we started, I pointed this out to Lexi.
Yeah, you did, and it's haunted me ever since.
Fine Goblin needs nuts.
Yeah, we get it.
We all know the joke.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny to say.
No, fine goblin, these nuts holds out a hand of peanuts.
Oh my god, Dylan's going to kill us. So, does
I laughed, you laughed, the log laughed.
We stabbed the log.
Good times.
does
we left off on the
Bearer
really
have
asking
anything to
the
say? I'm
party-
gonna prompt Jacob because he hasn't gotten many words in.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're fine. So you were referring to, just out of character, you're still referring to
Yeah. Aureli's still kind of on the Olzene's made a move that she wants to be secretary. Aureli's big theory is she's going to maybe take power when Resha dies.
It is very possible, I would say, but due to the nature that I've seen so far, it could be likely. But that could be something we could determine for the future, I would say.
While Karavok is around right now, who would be the natural barrier to such a thing? He does have another town in his province.
Right.
It's likely he will be away on business one day or another. For a long time. Which, if she was going to attempt claim of the lands, most opportune.
Seems logical.
Stage a emergency. Resha's incapacitated or dies. Claim head of board. Perhaps even damage the train so that next line, possibly bringing back Karavok. Crash.
That is a lot of paranoia for what was a smile at a vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like
On
Aureli
top
was
of that,
thinking about how to fucking take.
On top of that, I recommended increasing security for the train.
Yes. But
Which
Aureli's
is
not
exactly
like
what
wired
somebody who
right. We know
planned on.
this. We know this. But that's
Like,
one scenario.
huh?
Yeah, no, she's
I
the
would not
crazy
your
owl lady.
attention. All right.
But that's a singular train of thought.
Right.
In terms of everything else, I do hope that you do pursue your objectives, development and growth of certain aspects. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but I am going to ask that we are careful with what we are moving around. Night watch is going to be very important, especially around time. Moons paint themselves. Oh.
Dylan, should I be concerned?
No, I just wanted to make sure it worked.
Okay.
Sorry, what? What did I miss?
Continues
secret
kicking
roll.
log with much more anxiety now.
Was there a like a stick snap? Was there something going on out there?
I must have missed something. I don't know what the concern's about now.
I think a monster temporarily appeared on screen.
Yep, it did.
The first time was partially on accident. I clicked on the wrong button. I was just making sure that this was ready for next session. But I'll be kind enough.
Oh,
That's a big one.
Big man.
I feel like this
That's a
guy's
big
gonna be more.
erectus.
I feel like this guy's gonna be worth more than 50 in XP.
Well, you would be correct on that. But again, that's a thing for another session.
Noted.
Regardless, I would like to
Excuse me.
Is there any questions you have of the area? I've lived out in the woods mostly, and then came here to learn. I tell you a lot about the town until it's getting rebuilt. That is.
I think it'd be good to get an idea of the
Hmm.
surrounding area along with the inhabitants
I can lay out a
that live
map
here.
of some of the points of interest that may not have been recognized yet. There are a few creature territories that I think are going to be pushed around because of the mission and militia claiming the town.
Hmm.
That might eventually cause a problem for the monster. Basically, had free reign.
I see.
Hmm.
You have now made Johnny Bones a paranoid. Aureli's paranoia is contagious.
I would like to state that this is not a paranoid move. He's just sitting down on a boulder. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
like,
yeah. Whatever you say.
yeah.
The boulder grows and becomes.
A boulder is Mimiczilla.
The rock snores. Oh no!
Yeah, you didn't double check that rock, did you?
Just like a twig snaps in the distance, and he like lightning quickly stabs the rock.
Uh, there, so Johnny doesn't want to say. Does Shimmer have anything to say here?
Um. Regarding the animal thing, that would pique his interest more. And he would say, but I would also like a copy of where you know the animals are,
The moment
or their
return, I'll
general hunting grounds.
quickly sketch out the I happen to know. Most of what I've been concerned with are normal animals.
That's fine. For where the more dangerous predators are, the normal animals will generally stick to the other areas.
Dylan, I'm going to ask a question. Can I mention
Yeah.
the oversized erectus?
You are able to, yes. Those are fully corrupt Erectus. Those are much tougher than the little guys you guys fought. They aren't found here, but they're pretty common in a lot of other places.
Well, a few years ago, a fully sized erectus had been wandering about the air. I haven't seen it in the season. That's one that comes to mind as a common threat. There were
Hmm.
a pack of corrupted wolves that made quite frustrating hunts all game. I'd often check traps, and whatever was in was simply shredded about. Not desperate enough normally. Eat something like that.
That would explain. Maybe the squirrels aren't more tenacious then.
Oh, yes. I was honestly surprised. I thought squirrels were bloodthirsty monsters everywhere.
Hmm. Sometimes. In the woods to the far north, they are far more concerned with gathering acorns and the like.
A squirrel eating acorns? How strange.
Yes, I know, very strange. But
Love how.
yes,
Continue. Sorry.
um, they eat acorns, various nuts, small berries, things like that. Some of it I've heard rumors, though I haven't seen them myself. Not in this life, anyway. The flying squirrel.
You you have? How many lives have you lived? I know you're a spirit of some kind.
Hmm. It'll seem like he thinks he just kind of stares off into the distance, and it's like
Oh no.
very, very many. Most of them blur together at points.
Oh.
very little is remembered between incarnations.
Interesting. I myself have only ever had one life, to my knowledge, and I've held on to it dearly.
Hmm. As you should.
From across the pond, you hear Johnny. Have I had 2 lives? Feels
Someone
like
will
it.
look over and be like, "No, you've only had one, for your soul has not left."
Ah, shucks.
Perhaps it
thought I
did,
had
and it
something
was pulled
cool.
back into the same vessel it housed itself before.
Oh,
There
no,
was
that
a
requires
period of
much
time I
more.
don't remember anything.
Do you have weird growths in the middle of you?
Weird growths.
Well, weird growths for you,
He
mortals, I
like
guess.
checks himself for tumors.
Bone tumor.
No lumps.
Hmm. Then probably not. You probably just stayed there, and however the sorrow work has made it to where you stay, and your soul stayed behind, or at least your consciousness, anyway. Can't really tell if you have a soul or not.
I don't
Being
have a
undead and all that.
soul. He like looks down at himself. Oh, I rather
Yes.
enjoyed having one of those.
From my understanding, the for you of the generally singular life, uh, living, once you die, your soul moves on to whatever afterlife or place that so be.
So
And the
I
undead simply, if you are undead, you simply retain your consciousness, but your soul itself is separate.
so there are 2 of me out there somewhere now.
You know,
In a manner of speaking that you can
in all the
understand, yes.
times that I've ripped things apart, I've never found the soul inside of them.
Have you only ripped the parts they corrupted?
For the most part. The occasional
And
small
that's
For the
game and
most
animal as
part.
well.
They have very then we'll start meandering to the other side now. This the souls of small game and animals are notoriously lack of a better word, primitive. There's not a whole lot there, for instance, versus a larger or more sentient creature.
Philip, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing?
What?
Never mind.
Wait, I'm just pulling bullshit on my ass
No,
right now.
what you're doing is you're feeding the crazy serial killer lady with ammo.
Oh, that's fine. He doesn't care. As Simber said, he has lived countless lives. He does not care. He does not think that the sorrow or whatever malaise that's happening here can actually hurt his soul, which is all he really cares about. He thinks there's a bunch of hogwash. Internally, anyway.
Aurelia is going to notice stumps sifting. To my knowledge, the mountains hold a large supply of coal, but I'm not sure what else is.
Sifting for coal.
Hey, it's black gold of
I
some
don't
kind.
know. Was kind of curious as to the land in this area. It's definitely not familiar to mine.
You speak often about the place you come from. How did you travel here? What is it like?
Well, see these woods around us?
Yeah.
Trunks that are on the ground? Think of if you were living on one of those.
It'd have to be as
That's
small
pretty.
as a very small thing.
Yeah, that's why it's well, it's like 10 times the size as something that you'd see here.
10 times. Very
Maybe
large
even
tree.
100 times. Who knows?
You haven't seen all of it?
No, I've only seen probably a good quarter to a half of the whole area, but I'm not no longer able to go back there
Oh.
for reasons.
A banishment, then. Seems we're all misfits.
In a sense, yes.
I'm starting to think Shimmerbark might be the one with the best on their shoulders for this situation.
What? I got a great head on my shoulders. At least it's there most of the time.
Yes, I could take it off your shoulders, and that's why I worry.
Hmm.
I too have been afflicted, but that's something that I've had to live with. I don't really trust my judgment all the time. I suppose if all of you are like this from the less tainted lands, got a pretty good shot at doing something.
All right. On that note, we'll finish that up. We'll call this day a no-go for any erectuses for you.
Damn. Fuck. I was hoping for the big one. I'll be honest. I was hoping to charge out of the trees at us. I was like, man, it'd be really
we
funny
didn't-
if it
Just
happened
breaks
right
up
now,
out of-
GM. Man, it'd be really.
No, it's an Erectus worm. It just breaks out from under the rock.
Oh my god, it's
No,
like the
nothing's
Doom
going
worm.
on. Yeah, it's the Doom
Yeah,
worm.
We
we
had the
didn't offend
popcorn
the
bucket.
DM
Now we get the
enough.
worm.
If we try again tomorrow and we offend the DM more, it might come.
Ooh, yes. Okay, cool. Let's continue talking about how we're gonna munchkin the game again.
Rick,
I will
everyone
say,
acts like the game is easy. That'll fix it.
this is
Yep.
probably where I think we'll call your guys' little RP here.
Short
That
sesh.
is 15 XP for each of you guys, and I want everybody to think about what they want to do for the next 25 in-game days.
Oh god.
Yeah. Try to think of week-long activities.
Sure, there are some one-to-one conversations that Diosne would like to have as well.
Easily.
Yes, I think same here.
Oh boy, this is gonna be great. I'm doing something tomorrow. I can't remember what.
Oh, we're
I'm
calling
doing
it?
something tomorrow as well. I'm doing so much tomorrow. Christ.
Oh, you Lancer.
Yes, I have a really long day tomorrow, but
Hmm.
I'll live with it.
If this is where we
Anyway.
call the session, I might end the stream then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Everybody loses their hero points. You guys will get new ones at the beginning of next session.
Yay!
I feel like the hero
Wahoo!
points should be lost at the start of next session because of how we handle our downtime.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Just
Yeah.
because we often do rolls for downtime, and I think the hero points are supposed to be factored into that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So,
that makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we're not doing checks. We're not doing rolls. We're not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So in this case, everybody who has hero points, including your extras, hang on to them until the start of the next session, depending on your downtime actions. We'll make sure stuff. Also, the retcon and the information I gave you, Alice, should help fix some of the smuggling thing about what's going on. If you
Mhm.
connect.
Yeah. It's fine. It's more that like I was just deeply confused.
No,
I
that's your
said
fault. Or my fault. That's
I
my
mean, it's
fault.
partially
No,
why
my
Aurelie
fault.
is like now really fucking upset and paranoid. Is like, oh shit, the people who brought us here are now hiding information from me. I need to think about this like
Yeah.
everyone.
Everyone's hiding information. Also, if my
I am
random
hoping to have a conversation with Aurelie at some
Go
point.
ahead
during
at
the
any time.
upcoming week. Yeah, just so you know. But
Also, if my random bullshittery that I throw about things is incorrect, let me know.
I mean, the easiest fucking lore explanation at any time is this is how this character understands the world.
Yeah.
exactly.
Two, I, as like the setting original author, have nothing to note, and I'm not going to note anything at all unless it's like really, really bad.
Okay.
Such as moons. Moons are something I'll fucking note on, you know? But, like, I'm not gonna fucking force Dylan to know the intricacies of the fucking, scar of the sky or, shit like that, you know? It's just, that's not like a...
Star of the sky.
No, I just mean if it's something like, Country Bumpkin #5 would know, and I'm like,
Oh, the sun
wrong,
is not
then
a ball. It is a, like...
is it like a hole? Is it
It
like
is
the
a...
stars in Elder Scrolls?
I believe I described this earlier. It is like if you look at it and you get to stare at it for long enough, it will not be a circle burned in your eyeballs during some types of the year, but rather more of a like line, which have
Hmm.
often been called the horns of Sol Sitar. This is not a lore fact that matters at all. This is the least important. It's just an aesthetics thing, really.
No, now that you said it, now there's gonna be a cult about it. Blood for the Horned God.
Yeah. A pound of copper.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Oh my god.
that's a lot of
That is
copper, Jesus.
A lot of copper.
Wait, what the fuck?
By the DM, that's what he said.
Wait,
He just
is that a lot of
he's just
copper? I don't
sifting
know
it?
sifting. I don't know sifting that well. Hold
Yeah,
on.
a
Is that a
pound
lot
of
of
copper is
Okay,
so
no,
much.
Oh my
no.
god, we're like
This
sitting
thing-
on a copper ore.
Sifting is like when you go to the beach and like you have like those little plastic pail thing with the holes in it.
Fixing.
Yeah. So like maybe
An
1
ounce of
ounce
copper,
of
maybe.
copper.
But might be a little bit less. I would just want to say.
Yeah.
Like
1
when
ounce,
people
1
sift
ounce.
for gold, like
1 ounce. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
A nugget the
ounce
size
of
of a
copper.
nickel is a
Gallon
huge
cup
find.
Of coffee. It's just like the 60-gallon cup of coffee, guys. Sorry.
No, it's canon now.
Yeah, but 1
This is a
pound
copper
of sifting,
deposit
it's
we're
like, alright,
standing on.
Guys, it is time to sift. We
This
are
guy thinks
literally
it's a fucking
standing on
pick
top
to
of a
be
copper
found.
mine.
We're here. We're on the
Hunter,
mother
get
lode.
your
Let's
copper
go.
pick. Get your copper pick. It is time.
On that note, does anybody need me for anything?
Not to knowledge.
don't
I'm gonna
think
have to
so,
read
yeah.
up the downtime actions here in a bit, but I
Yep.
had fun. It
Oh,
was very
yeah.
short, but you know what? Sometimes short is sweet.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh wait,
It
how
was
long is the
obvious, it
downtime?
was
3 weeks.
15
25
days, I think you said.
25.
25 days.
25.
25 days. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, it's ages.
Yeah, no, it's so long. I'm so like D&D brained right now. I'm like, what the fuck? This is like,
Yeah. A whole month of just
Oh?
nothing.
Yeah.
That's,
well,
yeah, that's
I
like about a
reckon
month.
it's mostly they're getting the town set up, and then they can spare us supplies for going out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you guys are here to deal with any internal affairs. Like, during your
Mhm.
times, I'll also just spur on you guys random RP moments of,
Mhm.
hey, during day 13 to 22,
I'm just doing
I
this
need
to
you
see if
guys
it
to
would
deal
let
with a
me
blah
fix
blah
something.
blah.
I'm going to tell you, Aurelie will not handle things gently.
Okay. This is annoying. Alright, so Dylan. I don't know if in the bestiary compendium thing there's CR -1 like plants and or funguses.
Give me a moment. I have
That
to
are
actually
creatures?
pull up. Okay, hold on. I don't have a filter for that, so let me get to the website that does have. a
Yeah,
filter.
that's why I was like, oh wait a minute, let me actually cast the spell and see if it does it or not. But it does not.
All right, so for CR -1 level plants, we have.
I know
At
there's
least
a lot
for-
of them. There's like
so far, I
You're
only
telling
see-
me there's a plan on the
Dude.
board?
there's Sprigjacks
yeah, those are nasty little fuckers.
and Yellow Musk Thralls. Those are the only 2 CR -1s that I
Oh, I'm
see.
thinking of Fae. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
The Fae, you have like freaking 6 different types.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise
Like one
me.
of them's a tooth fairy. They steal your teeth.
Nolan,
Yes, sir.
That's
I don't
horrible.
think we can see the basement.
But my bait.
No, it's just bigger than you think it is.
No, I don't have a token in this scene.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, me neither.
What are you all
Well-
doing in my basement? Get out. Shoot.
It is our basement now.
No!
This is
Yes.
O'Reilly's side. And then this side is kitchen storage.
Basement?
Just noticed.
I don't know if everyone can.
Yeah,
I was
sorry, I
putting
was
that
doing
open
something
on
else.
the mid-session.
No,
in
you're
case anybody
fine.
went-
You're fine.
Yeah. I put that in mid-session in case anybody wanted to, come down here and see what it,
Basement. Ooh.
Oh, here's a question.
the
Dylan.
other day went on there just the yellow basement woo.
What's I did?
yeah, Phil.
Could I, so per the description of a Sprigjack, they're cultivate for themed gardens and all that, driveway interlopers. Could I spend some of my downtime to try and get some of those to, like, I guess, move in to the garden back in town?
Really
Not-
blinks for the 3rd time today.
I don't know how I feel about putting creatures that seek to drive away interlopers in our garden.
Well, that's
I feel like
fine,
you're gonna
because
try to drive us away.
interlopers, it's security, okay?
No.
They're security
It's
for,
security.
feed
The little bark boy has a point.
and/or erectuses. No, erectuses is the word that we're gonna go with. Could I do that or no? Because they live in gardens, right? So it's like, to my thinking, it's if they live there, the people who maintain it and are, generally respectful of it, they're gonna be like, oh, they're fine, versus, like random people.
Maxim would discourage it in case his children accidentally followed the garden, because children are children.
No, but they'd be fine. Because they're not interlope, like they would be on the approved list.
I don't know. You ever see a kid in a garden? They pluck flowers right away.
Right?
Mhm. Why doesn't this have a freaking... What do they even look like?
It'll be so funny when a kid goes to pluck a flower and then like 5 shadowy plant dudes just pop out of the fucking ground and just kick the shit out.
Yeah, and they just start shaking their fist at him like, no, get out here. God. What do they look like? Oh, they look like the Krakatoa from D&D. Like the ones who
think I've ever
worship
seen
everything.
Oh, the fish things?
Yeah, the weird fish things. Apparently, according to the first Google image I can find.
That
Weird.
doesn't feel right. They're not plants.
It really doesn't. It's either that. Yeah, no, they're all like that. They're like weird animal things.
Weird.
They
I
are
think.
part fae, but they're also part plant.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have the wood
I think
tag.
it depends on their environment. Yeah, because like these ones are more planty,
Oh, so those are just ocean Sprigjacks.
maybe, or like coastal. Well, these ones are more planty. Which those more look like leshies to me, of like how I would think. But hey,
Yeah.
But apparently that's another kind.
Hmm.
According to Archives of Nethys, that those are Breakjack monster tokens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
and the other ones look more like Fae, which is interesting.
Well, they are a fae.
Thank you for coming to the stream, everybody. I'm
Yes.
gonna be ending it now. Good night.
Well, I mean like elf, like elfy,
Actually, hold on.
Okay.
like
Oh,
elfy
I want
kind of
to
Fae.
like say or question for the party out of character.
Uh-huh.
Karavok. What do we think he was doing last?
Obviously,
Getting
everything the
sleep.
fairies.
Honestly, it sounds like he just works super fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like
Fuck, that's a good possibility. Wait, no, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
reasonable
think
possibility.
There are many things about Karavok that are suspicious. Him being sleepy was not one of them.
Okay, but it's like a it's a piece
becoming
that could
irrelevant.
fit onto so many puzzles. It's the fucking like slightly dark piece that is the same cookie cutter from the 4 boxes of puzzles we have. And I don't know which one it goes to because someone dumped them all out on the ground, and that someone was Dylan.
Oh yeah, I also took away the picture of the box, and they're all roughly the same color. Good luck!
What? He's gone!
He just left.
No! I had so much to tell him about.
That's funny.
Oh god.
Anyhow, I want to be opening up an investigation, I think now. In terms of the...
I'll assist with that.
Yeah, probably an investigation on the Karavok, unless you guys want to try and convince me to do something else.
Oh wait, he never gave me an answer if I could do it. God damn it.
Curse Dylan and his dramatic exits.
How dare he?
Because when I start opening an investigation, I get a bunch of bonuses to doing things. The problem is that opening an investigation on somebody is basically means I'm locked in. Basically means I
Until you finish it, right?
Yeah,
No, I can
have
pause it?
I have no strong opinions.
Okay.
Hey, and a word for Scriptjacks, Scriptjacks could help. Help spying him. He thinks he's alone in the garden. He's really not.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I think
Oh
at
my
this
God.
stage in
Oh
the
my god.
thank you, Gage.
Guess who's been muted for
It-
at least half an hour?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
No!
You
Oh,
keep
no.
doing this!
So I think personally you should mute yourself in Discord, not from your mic.
Yeah.
Because then if we notice it's been going for a while, we can be like, hey, do
Yeah,
you
we
mean
can
to
be
be
like,
muted?
hey, did you mean to?
Because
Yeah.
now we have no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try that. Ugh,
I have to
mean-
sit here and chronically watch my fucking stream overlay. So I will notice when I'm not talking because the character won't light up, but
Mhm.
you don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can maintain 2 active investigations at a time. If I pursue another lead, basically I drop an investigate. Oh my god. So I guess I have to basically present a question and then pursue leads in ends to answer that question. So I think I might be able to utilize sorrows, like, can I detect sorrow with a medical end? And I think I can pursue leads following that, right? But I don't know. It's gonna be a process for me, whatever I do. So I just wanted to make sure that like you guys were okay with me fucking off and doing my own projects right now.
Mhm.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
I think that's pretty much what's gonna happen, at least at the start, because now the characters, they kind of really know each other all that well.
I'm really
So it's
trying
like,
to rope
yeah, you
people
do
into
you, I
live
guess.
specimen collecting, which the Yozane is not the person to rope. Maybe the Mind Goblin.
You leave the mind.
What about me?
You might be good at subduing the creatures non-lethally.
I mean, mind control, I've got days to stun them.
That's perfect. You daze them, we
I
put them
mean,
in a
hey.
box, we drag them back home.
Simmer is also perfect because what's it called? My freaking Eidolon.
Mhm.
He has all his attacks are blunt,
Hmm.
so he can just knock them unconscious.
I also have bludgeoning as well.
He can also trip them.
I mean, I could help you set some traps, maybe, but if we're talking direct combat, all I do is stab, so...
Yeah, don't worry. You will help in other ways. You are the cage. I'm rearranging your bones now.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
The bone NATO paralysis.
I'm going to
Yeah,
take Johnny.
I don't have
rearrange
access
his
to that
bones
until level 17, guys.
into a fucking
Oh,
box.
so you don't have access to that because the campaign's till level 10.
Yeah.
Well,
The
if he's get rearranged into a box, he's the most secure fucking box there ever was, because you have to negotiate with him to get him to open.
See, that's actually terribly unsecure, because then all it takes is someone who's good at negotiating.
Yeah, but that's
I
like
was
saying
also
any lock is
considering-
unsecure because all it takes is someone good at demolition.
See, but there you can account for that. There you can't account for what arguments they'll make that will appeal to your sentient parts.
I'm just saying, if you punch me for 14 HP worth of damage, the cage collapses.
Ah, fuck.
That too.
Okay, cage ideas out the window. I want you to know I'm going to keep coming up with funny Lego ideas for you. Oh.
Anyway,
Right. Good evening, everyone. Have a good
I
night.